Howdy, folks. Welcome to AlberonRPG. My name is Joe Treff. I am the GM this evening and many other evenings, and joining me are some of my friends, Vincent, Hannah, Olive, and Liz. We are going to be playing some D&D tonight. Typically, we would be playing... Man, this is very glum music.
I know. Isn't it like tropical?
Yeah, it is tropical.
Put on some nice,
nice
steel drum music.
Yeah, right.
I should have put some steel drum music on earlier.
This is good though.
Yeah. So typically we would be playing Starfinder tonight. However, we have a number of players who are traveling, who are in coffee school, who are doing wedding-related activities, and so as a result, being a new parent. And so as a result, we are going to be playing a D&D one-shot tonight. Ooh. This is set in canon to our regular campaigns that happen every Friday. This one is set shortly, or about halfway between Campaign 1 and Campaign 2, in the city or around the city of Fareshore. On this channel, we have a couple of different D&D or TTRPG games that we play every week. Typically Starfinder here at 6:30 p.m. every Thursday, and then D&D every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know all this stuff. We have a tremendous number of other games that also go out. We have a original game that is coming up, a one-shot for the Lancer system, which is a little bit more tactical combat and a little bit less role-playing. Depending on the person who's running it, we're going to have a little bit of role-playing in ours. And then we have a number of other games that are coming up as well. I did have surgery on Monday on my throat, and so my voice is not as strong as it normally would be. So it may be in and out a little bit, and I just like to qualify that. I'm doing my best here. Tonight, in this one-shot, this is a level 7 D&D one-shot where a number of adventurers have been called together to deal with an issue that is arising in the town of Fareshore. The city of Fareshore, whose northwestern border is the Azure Short Sea, the ocean has begun to churn and steam. And tidal waves crash into the shores, people have been scalded, structures have been damaged. The primary defenses against the things that have risen from the ocean, fire elementals steaming and sizzling from the waters, are fire-based weapons for Fareshore, and so very ineffective against these new creatures. Because of this, the leader of Fareshore, a half-orc woman named Shoshe, now 50 years old after the events of Campaign 1, has summoned a group of heroes to assist in this event, and that is the story that we're playing today. Before we jump in, the only other announcements that I really have is that we have social media at AlberonRPG, where you can find whatever is up on our tables you can see right now, just a little seascape, just for flavor. But there are encounter maps, there are handouts, there are original miniatures, things like that. You can see at AlberonRPG on Instagram. We have a Patreon. You can go and see content that is only available to Patreon subscribers. There are after-session interviews. There are after-dark sessions, which contain a little bit more drinking than our typical games. And so you can see those on Patreon at AlberonRPG. And with that, we can jump right into this one-shot.
There's no intro for this one. There's no break to get up.
No, yeah.
Usually we've got
if you need to do something, go and grab it now. Calorjet rises like an ancient sentinel. It is a massive, dark, wooded structure of ironwood imported from the frost-choked forest in the north of Dominion. The exterior is polished but dark. Its boards are thick and near black, flecked with dull red knots that almost seem to pulse in the afternoon sun. As each of you arrived at this place, you saw orcish runes carved into the beams and walls, all gently weathered by time. You can see... Do any of you speak Orcish?
Let's see. Yes!
For you, and remind me of your name.
Baklek!
Baklek, the easiest name to say and to remember. Baklek. For you and for you as well, Zentria, you see that these are different blessings of wisdom and strength and remembrance that have been carved by different hands over many, many years. This is a very traditional building that has a sort of important place here in the community. This building emits a faint scent of cedar and ash as you enter. It is as if the wood here remembers every single fire that is burned in this place. And upon entering, you are met not with the austerity of a political hall. There isn't the sort of gold chastenings of our modern day White House. This is instead a much more quiet and reverent place. You first, as you enter into this place, pass through a series of halls used as hospices. The vaulted ceilings held up by these thick beams, the walls adorned with faded tapestries of the founders and heroes of this town. The elderly residents move slowly through these wide open spaces that are filled with light filtering in through the stained glass. It is hushed but not somber. This is a place where people come towards the end of their days to find rest, and you can smell the scent of herbs and teas and old parchment here. There are aides and caretakers moving silently as well. But at the far end of the hall, through the arched doorway carved with the Orcish word for service, lies the town hall proper. This is a room of long stone benches, sunken hearths, and a broad circular table, behind which awaits Shoshe. Shoshe and the tables are flanked by scrolls and maps, and her eyes are sharp beneath these very silver-threaded braids. She stands slowly as each of you sort of approaches. Her age has claimed a lot of her speed, but none of her presence. She gestures towards the long hospice behind you and speaks. Give me 1 second. My music is all over the place today. Boom. Okay.
Seems very inviting. She seems in a
Yes.
jolly mood right now.
Yes. Okay.
How you living, girl?
We're just all bewildered.
Fine.
How you be?
She's like, actually, I'm pretty good. Like, I don't need you guys anymore.
Like, I'm not going to fight a fire giant, so I feel awesome.
So you can see Shoshe stand slowly. You can kind of almost feel the age in her joints, but this is somebody who, looking at her, almost certainly, if not still a warrior, was at one point. And she says, "It is a reminder. Many of import pass through these halls. We all remember every day that no matter how high we step, or how much we can accomplish, we all grow old, and others will step in. It is a reminder for all of you to care." And she straightens, her eyes clear with a little bit of urgency, and she says, "But today, care must come with magic and steel. A fire giant stirs 'neath the water, and he is not alone. He has proven trouble, for our defenses and sorcery is based in magic, based in fire. Thus I have invited y'all. Go ahead, be known to each other." And beginning with you, Vincent, can you introduce your character? What do you look like, and who are you?
Sure. So you see a you see a small grung, purple in color, and he's wearing what looks like goggles that have like lots of lenses on them. He's holding a staff and is wearing a breastplate. And on his shoulder is a small, tiny, red mechanical frog with wings. And he goes, "Hi everyone, I'm Powder Pog, and this is Baby Pog."
Phenomenal. You gesture up at this tiny little thing. They nod their head and they kind of gesture towards one of the seats. You can enter and grab a seat, your little frog companion alongside you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so you see a minotaur. She's about 7-ish feet tall, huge horns, cow ears, importantly, cow tail, cow hooves. Very notably not wearing a backpack, and she says to the group, "They call me Backpack."
Oh my god.
You can see Shoshe kind of nods and goes, "Aye, they do," and gestures to a chair for you to sit.
And she winks and says, "Maybe you'll find out why soon enough."
Make an insight check.
Me?
Yeah, backpack. As you go to take a seat, you kind of snap back towards Shoshe.
9. Oh wait, no, I have advantage. That's nice. 11.
You can see, even with an 11, there is mistrust in her eyes when you say that. And she shakes her head and she says, "Be mindful. I've had people like you in here before, and it didn't work out the best."
Mental note, what does that mean?
She turns towards you. Olive, can you describe your character?
Sure. Waddling through the doors, we see a squat dwarf find her way towards the chair, and she bumps her umbrella hat onto the edge of the tall chair, and she goes, "Ugh," and she climbs up, and she sits in it, and she's wearing a full bodysuit swimsuit, and then is also carrying another beach umbrella.
And your name is?
Oh, Becklek.
Becklek.
Dwarven girl here.
You can see Shoshe nods and says, "Sorry to bother you on your vacation, but we needed all the help we could get."
I am not on vacation.
Oh. You kind of waddle in, you set down one umbrella, then another, then you grab your seat. And then Liz, could you describe your character?
My character is Zentria, who's an elf. He's kind of crouched over, smallish, like mid height, in black, but has like these scatterings of branches and leaves stuck in her hair. You can kind of see like branches woven into her hair, and glasses askew. The lenses are kind of broken. She's walking barefoot. Kind of looks like she came from somewhere, like a fight or a tussle. Like she got out alive. So you're curious about her story, but you don't want to ask.
For just a moment, you can see Shoshe opens her mouth. You see the tusks just jut out for a moment, and she goes, "Never mind." You take a seat at this table. Shoshe looks around at this group, all of you now having arrived, and says, "Farshore is a town of salt and stone. We've weathered pirates, famine, and worse. But this is no storm." She gestures to a map on the table, and you can see there are all these little wooden ships that have been crushed or twisted or broken in half, kind of dotting the coast. You can see red ink staining the shallows, and Shoshe says, "The sea is turned. Steam tides that scorch the hulls of fishing ships. Entire crews vanished neath the scalding foam. The outer reefs are fireglass now, blackened and brittle. A fire giant is behind this. Solmore of the Cinderborn, if the elemental prisoner speaks true. He's carved a trench in the ocean floor and turned it into a forge." She leans over the table and locks eyes with each of you in turn. "I'll be square with you. Farshore's people are terrified, desperate. You'll hear them beg in the square, begging you to succeed, not because we are cowards, but because people here have children. They have families, and they fear for their safety." At this moment, there is a commotion in the halls. You could hear this like rumbling. You can hear the guards kind of like close off the corridor. But then you hear a door bang open behind you. And you see behind, there's these two sorcerers in these complex robes. I would say all of you are aware of the Stitch sorcerers who are sort of the law-keeping forces here in Fareshore. And one of them rushes forwards, a dwarf with blonde hair, who says, "The weave won't hold. The air sieges are unstable at the heart." The second mage, who also wearing very similar kind of orange robe, says, "The shell is reinforced with storm iron. It will hold if the beacon is planted correctly." Shoshe waves both of them off and says, "Ignore them. Or listen. It is your choice. This thing is your best shot, regardless of what they say. It is an elemental lure." And she pulls this thing from beneath this table, whips a cloth off of it, and you can see she is holding this dodecahedron of twisted brass, of glass, and with these little, almost orcish runes that seem to be not etched onto the glass, but almost into the air between the panes. And in this, she says, "If you activate this at the entrance of the fire giant's lair, it will draw them out. You will need to keep it balanced as you bring it to shore, where we have set up traps. We have set up siege weapons, and there we can defeat it together. Any questions?" You can see the mages kind of waiting in the background. You can see off behind Shoshe, there is a small corner where the quartermaster works. "Yes."
Can I see the beacon?
They just hold it out to you, and you can add one elemental lure to your inventory. Very rare. Magical.
"You, wizard, what did you say?"
You can see the dwarf kind of totters over. They look over at Shoshe, who just kind of grunts and nods, and they run over to you. And they just say, I said the weave won't hold. It's too hot. There's too much energy that'll go into the beacon, and it will burn. You'll all burn with it. Are you fireproof, by chance?
Of course.
You, fireproof?
Well, fire resistant, but once a day, fireproof. And she flexes.
Oh, that'll be fantastic. So, as long as you can all fit inside of this one, you'll be fine.
Can I
You
inspect?
see Shoshe at this point kind of goes, oh.
Can I turn my all-purpose tool into like a magnifying glass and help me have me inspect the beacon to understand what it will
Hell
do?
yeah, you can. So you have what you look like a relatively like normal grung, but with unusual sort of equipment. And as you drag your grung hand across your hand, little elements of your gear form this all-purpose tool into a magnifying lens, and you ding, kind of examine it. Make an Arcana check.
25.
25, you are looking at an elemental beacon. This beacon will pulse and draw creatures that are elemental in nature towards them, almost irrevocably, almost like a moth to a flame. The way that it does that is by creating intense feelings of rage. And in doing so, if you use this, the idea of diplomacy is certainly not going to happen. That being said, the rage aspect of it means that the energies within also quite volatile. And so if you choose to use this, somebody will need to actively keep it sort of in balance as you are returning from this fire giant's lair.
What do you mean by imbalance? Like just like a scale imbalance?
Like I have charisma. Would that work?
Charisma, probably not. But when you think about this, you would need to have somebody who is familiar with magic, able to alter the magical energies in some way. It could be done through spellcasting. It could be done through just the Arcana skill. It could be done through a nature check and maybe some things that are found in the ocean. There's a lot of ways that it could be balanced. But as you move with this, if something is not done to keep the energy in sync, it will become very volatile. You imagine the water will boil.
That one seems magical.
Ah, yes. Let's figure out an accent that works for this character.
She has a medical condition where it's swatches.
Yes.
It's okay. Shoshe's gone back and forth like 3 times.
Yeah. Let's see. Hand it over here. I am a paladin, so I call on the gods for magic. Please.
Oh, well, I'm pretty good with things, but
No,
sure.
thank you. Slides it into the sleeve of her umbrella.
Okay.
Powderpog looks
Umbrellas
longingly at it as it slides out of his view.
Maybe later if you earn it.
British.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this the entire time. Bear with me.
Especially for one-shots, it's tough. So, no problem. You grab onto that. They nod, and the mage says, all right, so you've fireproof, apparently. How are you going to be beneath the waves?
Do you have any better fire protection for us?
Shoshe, at that, gestures to the quartermaster and says, you can request anything from the quartermaster, and they will provide it for you, but we have limited resources, so you may only take 2 or 3 things. Be mindful of what you take. Yes.
I cannot breathe underwater.
Can anyone?
The dwarf looks around and says, that'll be a problem.
You have a submarine?
I prefer it.
At this, Shoshe says, I don't know what the submarine is, but if you need a craft capable of traveling beneath the waves, I may have something. And she walks off to the side, and there has been in the corner what you sort of presume to be either a statue or a large sort of grandfather clock draped in a cloth. But they grab onto it with one orcish fist and pull it aside. Dust goes up into the air, but underneath, you can see the bubble skimmer. This is muscle-shaped, almost like a mussel, just this rounded sort of front. You can see it has hinges that allow it to pop open. There are viewports that look almost like pearlescent arcane plates. You can see this laced bronze filigree. You see old barnacle scars on it, though it has been cleared away. And it looks just like a mussel that has these sort of propulsion jets on the end. And Shoshe says, "You could make use of the bubble skimmer. I do not have anyone who can pilot it for you, so you will need to travel yourselves." Yeah.
I have proficiency in vehicles, parentheses,
Nice.
land, close parentheses.
Oh, that
It's
well,
basically
this-
the same thing, right?
So Shoshe will say, "As long as you are steering it while we tow it along the docks, you should be fine."
I have cartographer's tools.
That will help.
Wait, I have.
When do we?
I don't understand. Is the forge beneath the waves? I don't understand. If it's fire giants, how are they alive under the water?
This is a puzzling question for all of us. We have seen it, though, the glow of its skin. We do not know how it is staying beneath.
The mouth of its lair is underwater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just off the coast.
We need to go underwater.
When do we set out?
Now,
Oh dear.
or as soon as you have made preparations.
So,
I will drive the vehicle.
can we take anything else from, are we only allowed to take one item before we go?
So you can take the bubble skimmer. That's allowed. You can also go visit the quartermaster just around the corner and pick out some from the sort of, you can see behind the counter, there is all sorts of things over there. You can see salves and you can see engraved glacial arm guards. You can see a whole little armory, but it's fairly empty along the shelves, and you can see they're running low on items. So Shoshe has said you guys can pick 3 of maybe the 10 or so things there. You also, they let you know that they have a prisoner, an elemental prisoner, that is somewhere within this space. And then whenever you guys are ready, you can just set out in the bubble skimmer, or if you have a way of walking, you could walk into the ocean if you wish.
Can you tell us?
Backpack has a lot of unearned confidence that she
Don't
can
we?
drive this vehicle because she can drive a cart. So
Yeah.
That would be like if we went into that person, the prisoner, somehow. So I don't think we'd be able to do that.
I prefer to stay outside, prisoners.
Bubble skimmer it is.
Can I take a look at the armory?
Yeah.
She gestures and you walk over.
I run.
Your little grung legs do not carry you super fast, so it's kind of like you're walking.
Yeah.
You do have to sort of descend this 3 steps to this little domed chamber at the back of the room. You can see it is carved into the cliffside, so from the actual quartermaster station, the windows just look out over the ocean, maybe 80 feet below. You can see there is just the ocean crashing against stone. There is a strange sort of orange glow, actually, that you can see off the coast, presumably where this fire giant lurks. And you can smell here, faintly, bits of metallic and ozone and sulfur sort of smells. In this chamber, though, pipes hiss, lanterns flicker, and you can see in the center a gaunt, dark-skinned man with short, cropped gray hair and luminous blue eyes. You can see, as they turn to look at you, it's almost like little motes of fire fall away from them. This is Arcana Fire. This person, a magic user of some kind. Their face is very bird-like. They have singed sleeves and burn scars. And as they turn to you, I would say, Powder Pug, you recognize an artificer. Their mechanical left arm fashioned entirely from brass, whalebone, and crackling runes, much simpler than the artificing that you've done, and they click and hiss with tiny valves that sort of mirror the room around him. But he pops a little crystalline vial into a socket and a leather harness, which causes it to glow briefly, and he doesn't look up, continues to work, but as you approach says, "Tell me you're not here to admire the aesthetics. Time's burning faster than my patience. If you're going into that forge trench, you'll need more than heroism and matching cloaks." And they set the final little screw in place and set the harness down, finally turning to look over at you. They gesture over their shoulder and they say, "Shoshe said you'd be picking from the limited stock. Very limited. I've got 6 items total. You can choose 3. Make it count." They step to the side. you can see there is a little silvery gel that
There's
crackles.
no glass.
As you get close, as your face gets close, little motes of electricity off of it. And you would imagine with your previous Arcana check, this will give you resistance to lightning and perhaps even thunder damage. It might even give you a little bit more control over weather, should you be inclined to do that. You can see there is a frost-etched arm guard. This is what they just pop that vial into. You imagine this will give you resistance to fire. It might also give you once a day the ability to cast Armor of Agathis. You can see a little tonic shimmering. As the person notices you, they pop it open and you can smell rain from it. This likely grants water walking and freedom of movement. You see a small shard of elemental energy similar to the beacon that you just gave up to Buklek. And this seems to be a tethered shard of that kind of element. You imagine this might be used to help you use that beacon at a certain point. You can see a very interesting, this is probably the most interesting to you. It is an elemental core. At some point, an elemental was slain and then contained in this sort of storm glass seal. You imagine that this could work like a grenade, and throwing this would cause lightning and force to erupt from its center point. And then the final item in this sort of little area is a wand that has been made from sand that has been then turned into lightning glass. You imagine this would allow you to cast Witch Bolt.
I like that spell.
I put my hand on like the core, the elemental core grenade. I'm like, I look at the others like, I take.
I trust you. I trust you.
Looking for validation, you have mine.
Your eagerness, enthusiasm.
Backpack just does one of these.
Oh. And I explain, and this is what the other things look like they do, and I explain all that to the group.
I would love fire resistance.
Oh.
If at all possible.
I pick up the gauntlets, and I was like, I think that's what these do.
Absolutely. So, as you take these things and put them on, you gain resistance to fire. Once per day, you can cast Armor of Agathis at 3rd level without expending a spell slot.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty
fun
potent
spell.
ability. And as you wear them, it is like magical frost creeps down the armor and onto your skin, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel cold. If anything, it's almost like they adjust to fit more comfortably. That's one item.
I have a question.
Yeah.
One of my features is water skin. What is that?
Water skin.
Are you sure it's not like an inventory item? Like a...
That's.
It says features and traits.
Give me 1 second. I have to look.
Might
5
just-
pounds.
Oh, I think it's like an
sounds
object.
like
It's not.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just in that section because there's more space in that section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you do have a thing that can contain water.
Okay.
So you've
I
taken
would've
the
thought that
frost-edged
too.
Vembrance.
Can you do another quick rundown?
I
of
can't,
what-
and I totally printed this out and then totally forgot about it. So I apologize.
I've never done that before in my life.
So there is the Salve of the Tempest Vein. This is something that can give you resistance to lightning and thunder. It also gives you advantage to 1 Arcana check. There is the Water Strider Tonic that gives you water walking and freedom of movement. There is the Tether Beacon Shard. This is something that you imagine would be beneficial to planting that beacon in the event that you want to use it. There is the Storm Coil Grenade. It's a grenade made out of an elemental. And then there's the Fulgurite Rod, which can cast Witch Bolt. And if it is targeting an elemental, it deals max damage on the first hit.
That thing that helps with the other thing.
The shard.
Probably helpful, right?
Planting.
I assumed it was like a remote control. That's
Backpack just picks it up and is like, waiting for someone to tell her no. Waiting, and she's got it.
You see 4 thumbs up.
You call it.
2
They-
small thumbs and 2 tiny thumbs.
And then she's like, I don't know how to use this, and passes it over.
They see you do that, and you can see the eyes kind of flare. The mechanical arm clinks up, and they point and they say, "That can be used to secure something, even in the most unstable of terrain. In dangerous waves, in shifting sand, you can anchor it with that." Put that in your bag. You have taken the Frost-Etched Vembrance. You've taken the Tether Beacon Shard. And then was there one more thing that you guys wanted to take?
The grenade.
Yes, I literally was about to say that.
You take the Storm Coil Grenade. It is a 30-foot thrown weapon. You make a ranged weapon attack to hit. If you hit the first target, that target and all targets in 10 feet must make a DC 15 con save. It is 4d6 lightning damage plus 2d6 force damage. And on a fail, and that is on a success. On a failure, they're also stunned until the end of their next turn.
That's a great rogue item.
Yeah.
Because you're good at throwing stuff.
Do you have high dex?
You do.
Okay.
Ooh.
I do.
Oh. I take the Storm Coil Grenade and I walk over to...
Z.
Z?
Big Z.
Okay, taking a look at this, and it'll be really fun to use, but I'm not very good at aiming with throwing things, so here. And I show you how to use it, and then tell you that, what it does.
I like that this guy goes, I'm not really good at throwing things, so take this.
Yeah.
No, just chuck it into my pocket.
Yeah.
Right here.
No, just don't pull that pin just yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, for what it's worth, you have very high confidence that you will be very proficient in using this weapon.
I won't try to jump too much, don't worry.
So for all of you now, you have a couple of items. If you wish, you can make your way directly to the bubble skimmer. There is an elemental prisoner that is available to you. These mages are still here.
I say let's go. Unless you guys want to do any last minute actions.
Would we benefit from talking to an elemental? Or the prisoner? Or are you guys itching to fight?
Does the prisoner seem
I'm not a
friendly?
huge fan of talking.
You're asking the quartermaster?
Yeah.
The quartermaster would look at you and say, they're an elemental. I don't speak to
What does
elementals.
the prisoner look like?
Awful lot like what's in the middle of your grenade. And they point.
Like, do they look sad?
Wouldn't you?
A prisoner?
He says, I suppose so. Yes,
Okay, not
they do
angry,
look
but
sad.
sad. Okay,
What kind of-
reflective and despondent?
I'm an artificer, dear. I do not know about the moods of elementals. I know about the currents of magic.
Okay. Because I'm charismatic, I may be able to speak with them.
I'm also an artificer. If we make it back, can we share some notes?
They nod to you and they say, we don't get many wins here lately, so if you make it back and you're looking for work, we could share more than notes.
Oh.
You secure for yourself the prospect of a job upon completion of this game.
In this economy?
Really thinking about not just the one shot, but the full campaign. And yeah.
Backpack is gonna sidle up to the two mages and be like, "Hey, do you have any spells that can make it so that I can drive that bubble skimmer thing? 'Cause I can drive carts."
Honey, I can give you guidance for free.
Cool.
Hang on, I gotta see. One of them might be able to.
I can also probably tune it up a bit to make it easier for you to drive it.
I really was hoping no one else would hear this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're as big as a horse. Everyone can hear. Your hooves we can hear them clop across town.
The elf looks you up and down and says, do you have a lot of experience with the bubble skimmer or piloting anything like this?
I can drive vehicles, parentheses, land, close parentheses,
So cut.
So
and horses.
will you be a pilot, an engineer, an ethereist, or the ballastier? Presumably you know all these things as it's important for piloting the craft. You weren't going to attempt to just move this, were you?
Were
Listen,
you?
Careful now.
Listen. That's very fair. I don't know any of those words.
Make a persuasion check, and I would say make it an advantage. You can see the dwarf looks at the elf,
A
and
natural 20.
Wow, nice.
the dwarf just goes, "Oh, come on, Rollo, you can help them out, can't you?" And the elf just sighs and says, "I suppose I will go along with you and show you all how to properly use the bubble skimmer."
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
They nod, and as you guys have all just like kind of clumped in around backpack now, and they just say, "It's good that there are 4 of you. There are 4 stations that are required. Varying level of importance, none more important than the pilot, of course. But I will travel with you. I'll show you when we get there."
Backpack reaches into her pocket, no backpack, and she pulls out a little treat. She hands it over, such as one with the chef feet might make. Thank you for your help.
They take
I'll
this.
stop whispering now.
You can see they're not quite sure what to do with it. It's the middle of the day. They hold on to it, but they nod. It's appreciated.
It tastes like cherries.
They nod. There's no cherries do not grow within probably 1,000 miles of here. So that's actually quite exciting. They nod. You have secured the assistance of one of these sorcerers in getting the bubble skimmer going. So you will get a full tutorial on how to use this craft. Is there anything else that you all want to do before heading towards the docks?
Thanks, Shoshe. We'll be in touch.
Shoshe nods. And you make your way off towards the docks. Give me 1 second here.
Clop, 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 clop.
Like I said, everyone can hear you coming from 10 miles away.
I don't know why lately I'm so into characters with horns, cow ears, cow tails, and hooves.
I don't know, crazy.
But here we are. Cloppity, cloppity, cloppity. Backpack can't pronk, though. That's strictly an Alina
That
thing.
is unfortunate. Pronking is great.
Right?
So you all make your way over to the docks. You find your way to where Shoshe has had the bubble skimmer brought for all of you. And this elf sorcerer who has been identified to all of you as Rollo gestures and begins doing sort of like a flight attendant almost sort of breakdown as to what to expect. So they pop this muscle-shaped bronze and glass contraption open, and you can see that there are 4 stations. This vehicle is huge. You would imagine that it probably has a speed of roughly 30 feet. It has propulsion that kind of jets it out the back. You would imagine up to 6 medium creatures could fit in here. Give me 1 second here. So a couple of things. This craft, as it is a craft and not a creature, is immune to poison, psychic, and non-magical fire externally because of the make and these frost runes carved into it. But the sorcerer explains to you it is a little bit vulnerable to lightning damage, so you just need to be very cautious about things that would deal that sort of damage. It is powered by storm magic and will run for 8 hours before you run out of charge. You should only need to go like 300 feet offshore and then come back, so charge should not be an issue for all of you.
Can take it for a little joyride, though.
It's more just so that if these appear later, I have an idea as to how they work. You do have the capability, whoever is piloting this, of using the full ahead action, which will cause the thing to almost double in speed for the next minute. It can cause the craft overheat, which will cause damage to everybody within. There is these heat shielding runes that you can see on the outside. This is what gives it resistance to fire. If these runes are damaged, you will lose resistance to fire, and that would be a bad thing. The elf explains to you. So here, by the helm station, and they gesture to the front sort of seat, this is where the pilot will steer the vessel. They will avoid any hazards and perform evasive maneuvers if you need to do so. Hopefully not. Mechanically, the person who is piloting can use an action to make this craft juke to the left or right, which increases the AC by 2. If you are going to be the pilot, dexterity would be a great skill to be good at. If you have vehicles, parentheses, water, survival or acrobatics, less helpful, but if you are reaching for skills, that one might help you as well. If you fail as a pilot, you may end up colliding with hazards, you might damage your craft, you might alert enemies nearby. Now, the sorcerer turns and gestures to the station on the left of this. This is the engineer station.
I'm already there.
You're like plugging your stuff in because you can see here there are all the dials and gears that manage the storm core. It manages the heat levels. You can see this is where you boost speed and prevent overheating. You can actually re-roll 1 propulsion check per long rest if you are in this engineering seat. You would want to be good at Arcana, at Investigation, or Tinkerer's Tools if you were going to be in this.
I'm good at all of those things.
Now, if you fail at this task, you could overheat the storm core, which will deal internal fire damage to everybody and everything within. So the greatest chance of doing catastrophic damage to all of you will be from the engineer's seat.
You better be careful.
Now, with just these 2 things, the elf would say, you would be able to pilot the skimmer. So if people are required to do other things, that is fine. You will benefit from an aetherist, and they point to the seat off to the right of the pilot. You can see these arcane sort of sensors and glyphs. Whoever sits here will be responsible for detecting enemies, hazards, and specifically the energy readings that the giant gives off. This person can also control the cloaking field. Important if you do not wish to engage in combat before bringing the fire giant out. They point to the final station by the rear of this craft, by the butt of this muscle. And they say, this is the ballastier. This person is in charge of every physical system on the craft. You control the ballast, which means the depth of this, and if there are repairs needed, this is the person to do it. Somebody who is strong, who is very quick with their hands, and perhaps knows how their way around crafting things would also be helpful here.
That's me.
I thought you were the pilot.
I don't think I can do that.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone.
I won't say anything. But if you make your way... Never mind.
Never mind. I do have hands. so
yeah.
They're just too big for the steering
I was
wheel.
going to say, wait a second.
She has to hold them like this.
The sorcerer also says, who is going to be the ballastier, because they are also going to release the beacon.
That would be me, I suppose.
All right, so 4th spot is on.
There you go. So then you would be the aetherist.
Wait, which
Wait,
one
no,
did
it's
Wait,
pilot.
hold on.
Oh, wait, no, wait a
I'm
second.
doing the strong thing.
Okay, so I
Ballastier.
will give my elemental lure to you then.
Okay.
So which one
You
did you
take
want
the
to be?
elemental.
I don't care.
Who's pilot?
Oh, I'll be pilot.
So what's the last one?
So, for the pilot, we have...
Bucklek?
Bucklek.
Up in front.
Bucklek, you
I
climb
call you
into the
Becky.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
How's your dex?
front. Love that.
How is +2? 15.
So then,
Middling.
who's going to be the engineer? That is you. All right. So we have
Powder
Powder Pog, this little grung, already kind of
Assistance for
plugging
Baby Pog.
things in.
What's up? Hannah, what was yours?
Ballastier.
You want to be the
Ballastier.
strong. So you're the ballastier. So that would mean that you are the aetherist. You are responsible for detecting enemies as they approach, detecting hazards as they approach. So a good perception check, which you do have, will be very helpful.
Good.
So all of you kind of have figured out your different stations. As you climb aboard, this sorcerer would kind of wave their hand and using telekinesis would crane this sort of muscle-like thing on this rope across the dock and suspend it over the water. They wait for your signal to drop this into the ocean, and when you are ready, the pilot, this would be Bucklek, when you give the signal, they will drop you into the waves. Yes?
So the ballastier releases the elemental lure from their station.
Correct.
How do you use the tether shard? Like, do you have to be in the water with the beacon?
No, so if you have the tether shard and you are at the ballastier station, you'll benefit from the benefit that you gain. And narratively, it's because you attune to this thing, you are able to minutely control the actual beacon on the outside from the inside.
Okay.
You can just manipulate it using the shard.
Okay. I would like to I make some modifications to the ship.
Okay.
So in the ballastier station, you see Powder Pog. He will kind of like install the tether shard in a way that'll make it easier for you to like use it to control the thing. Later, what that might mean, that might come into play later. And I want to build my artillerist eldritch cannon on the outside.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
hey everyone, I would like you to meet Papa Pog. And now you see a small size, like just
What?
as big as me, frog, like mechanical looking frog that is now affixed to like the front of the ship. You know, in case we run into trouble.
So it's
he
shaped like a
pats.
muscle, but then on the very front, almost like a hood ornament, is a small frog.
I pat him.
Nice.
It could come in handy.
Okay.
You roll the storm glass up and have this frog cannon on the outside. So excellent. You now have a cannon. Excellent.
What else am I in charge of? I'm sorry. So I'm responsible for the lore now, which is cool.
You are responsible for controlling the ballast, which is the depth, and repairing the hull if it comes to it. You will make a tools check if you have tools proficiencies. Otherwise, it'll be athletics. There you go. If there's unstable terrain, you will have an opportunity to stabilize the vessel there. If things go wrong in your course, you might veer off course. You might cause some hull damage. Bad things might happen.
I have a lot of tools
Yeah, that's good.
in my pockets.
Yes. So the sorcerer waits for all of you. Is there anything else that any of you want to do before dropping into the ocean?
If not, then Buklek flaps her hands, spins her top umbrella, and then that's the signal to drop.
You can see there's just a brief
Did you
moment.
tell anybody that?
He's like,
I said go!
oh, and they release the telekinesis, and you drop. For all of you, you kind of rock in your seats, and then there is an impact as this craft just hits the water. It's kind of jolting, but then there is bubbling up all around you, and very quickly the light takes on a blue shade as you begin to drop down into the ocean. You enter into this water, and for you, Buklek, can you go ahead and just make a dexterity? Well, what are you using to pilot? Are you using dexterity? Are you proficient in water vehicles?
No.
Great. Make we'll call it an acrobatics or dexterity check, your choice.
They will be the same regardless. So if it's acrobatics, then she's standing in the chair because she's small. And what she does is to like go under. Actually, you know what? The steering wheel I'm imagining is like a circular pirate ship
Sure,
wheel.
now it is.
And she grabs it and she swings her entire body around.
Yeah, I like the feet are like flapping by.
Yeah.
So you watch as Buklek just violently throws this wheel into motion.
Oh, well.
Oh dear, I peek in the cockpit, and then I run back to the station and I reduce like the power steering.
Woo! For a 7!
For a 7. So
Oh
this
my
is the
God.
part where the lights are supposed to and the muscle is supposed to start away very elegantly, but Buklek throws their body into the wheel and the lights on, and this muscle dives hard into the right. All of you are slammed to the starboard side of the craft. You guys all tumble end over end. You end up all crumbled over onto the Etherius. So, Liz, everybody just falls on top of you, one after the other, kind of collapsing in, and you just
Big pile.
into the dark water and slam into sand. Maybe 30 feet below the waves, you just kind of scrape along before bouncing up.
Stabilize.
Okay, yeah.
Look at me
Buklek
go.
is
I'm
going to...
stabilizing.
For you, make an athletics check as you jam into this ballast. The craft begins to scrape into the sand.
Athletics, you say?
Yeah.
26.
With a 26, you heave your whole body. You think of the training that you have endured, and you know that this is just a simple thing that needs to be lifted. You have done this countless times, and you shove this up, and unbeknownst to you, you move hundreds of gallons of water in this movement. You really perform a feat that is almost impossible, and you save the craft from taking any damage as Balek attempts to just ram it into the bottom of the ocean. You careen off and into the shallows and begin to make your way towards the trench. Buklek, you have to climb back into the chair. Everybody has to climb back into their stations. You begin to descend a little bit less elegantly than you might have. As you approach, the sea begins to get warmer, and all of you within here are thankful for these etched frost runes, which glow with elemental energy and sort of create this frost on the outside, because even through that, you can feel a little bit warm. You can see steam hissing up from cracks in the trench walls, becoming these ripples of water within the water itself. You can actually see, as you get a little bit closer to this crevice, gouts of glowing magma that pulses like a heartbeat beneath the seafloor, hardening very quickly but still flowing almost like honey or pudding from the ocean floor. Your skin prickles with heat that still penetrates through the magical protections here. Bubbles rise around you, harmless, but if you were outside, you imagine this is hot enough to start to damage your flesh. And you continue to draw closer, and you begin to see below you this big crevasse sort of unfold. To get to the mouth of this lair will require some teamwork and some navigation, and for this we're going to do a group skills challenge. So each of you has a chance to help in one way to get to your destination. You can use any skill that you want. You will need to navigate boiling currents, intense zones of increased pressure. I would say for you, Liz, as you look at the scanners, you can see there are places where almost certainly there are little elemental scouts that kind of lurk in the edges. You will also need to stabilize the approach as you get to this vent.
What do you mean scouts?
Make a perception check.
Is it?
Yes, 27 day.
Becleck pulls out a jar, squirt bottle of aloe vera, slaps it into her hands, rubs them together, and then boops everybody on the nose and gives you all guidance.
Ah, very nice. One at a time. It fades off of each of you instantly as the next one is cast, but no problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a...
I didn't know that.
You only have it on one person
concentration,
at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, it is
Pick one person.
And then they do their thing, and then another one, and they do
All right.
Maybe you should do it on yourself since
I don't have great skills. Okay, I'll do it on myself.
Okay.
but we'll need you to pilot.
You just start applying some aloe to your nose.
18.
With an 18, you can see off in the distance there are two distinct types of creatures that lurk either in the stonework or amongst the pools of magma. You see fire elementals, 3 or 4 of them, that each of them probably 8 or 9 feet tall. That they can exist in the water means that they burn immensely hot. And all around them, the water becomes instantly like steam or bubbles. And so it's hard to even sort of see them, but you can see them. And even smaller than that, here and there are what are called magma methods, which are these little almost imp-like creatures made of fire from the elemental planet fire. However, these, as you see, they seem to kind of spontaneously appear and then just freeze into rock and then like sink to the bottom. They don't seem to be doing quite as well. So how would each of you like to contribute to this path?
I'm gonna just keep on stabilizing. That went pretty well, and she feels like she's got the hang of it.
So for you, you decide that with everything that you've seen here and with everything that has happened, you just want to keep a stable track. So for you, go ahead and make an athletics check. And there is a DC for this. This is to stabilize through the boiling currents and the high pressure zones.
13.
Okay.
Can I have advantage because I did it once already?
We'll get back to that in a second. So that is, you can see backpack begins to kind of heave into this and force your craft to drop lower and lower beneath some of these more dangerous currents. What are the rest of you doing?
So this is a skill check, right?
It can be a skill check, whatever you want to do to help this adventure.
Okay, so I want... Becleck stares out the eyes of the mussel.
Okay.
I don't know.
There's just these like, so where normally the two parts of the show would meet
mussels
and there would be
see?
like a little lip,
Yeah.
there are just these panes of storm glass that form
okay.
almost like these windows that you can just look out.
And she is studying how the currents are passing by, and she thinks about how she's been surfing and has grown up surfing her whole life, turns out. And is it possible to make an insight to predict the currents?
to predict the currents,
Yes, to help us move along.
that would be a survival check or a nature check.
Well,
And each of those is a different DC.
neither one of those are great for me. But whatever. I'll do survival.
Okay, go ahead and make a survival check. You look at the water here, you can feel your ballastier kind of move the craft.
Great. 8.
And with that, you know that you can steer this craft true. You know,
Oh yeah.
beyond a shadow of a doubt, that
Fear
you
not,
can
I've
keep
got
this craft
this.
from being damaged. So, with Bucklek steering elegantly into the current, with Backpack
Into the current.
heaving you down below the current, what are the two of you doing?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So could I? So I have Flash of Genius.
Mhm.
Could I do that to help one of their checks before I do my check?
As a reaction, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll help with the steering.
Okay. So that's what, 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what can I do with the engineering station?
So first, briefly, your grung, Bucklek, points out to you that you are about to steer directly into a high-pressure zone where you will crush
That's
this
where
craft.
I need to go.
But as you look, you recognize that there are other options that you have available that will not crush you into a small, flat bit of paste, and you opt to go away from the place that would crush you. Bucklek helps a little bit. We'll see how much that ends up helping ultimately. But anything else that you want to do?
What can I do on my turn at the engineering station?
So at the engineering station, there's a lot of things that you could do. So far, you've had people who are avoiding the currents and the pressure zones. You still have these fiery scouts that Zentria pointed out to perhaps try to avoid in some way, shape, or form. You could, when you reach the actual event site itself, assist in stabilizing that site to allow you to insert the beacon. You could also do all kinds of things to try to cross this dangerous stretch. Basically, what skill do you want to leverage?
Let's go with let's see.
Because right now you're watching from the engineering station, and people are making choices that are not the choices you would make.
So I could any tool choice. I have like, what could I do with a tool? Is there any tool that like could help in the situation?
Absolutely. So you sitting at the
I have the
engineering
all-purpose
station.
tool, so it could be any tool, and I
Yep.
would be really good at using it.
So you could either boost your speed by using like a smithing tool check to try to kind of overclock that core. You could also
like
just
the sound
try
of that.
to increase your stealth field and use an Arcana check to do that.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay.
I will. Arcana check to increase the stealth field. Natural 20.
Wow. Okay.
Very important.
Really? I'm just like so embarrassed by how we're doing. I just don't want anyone to see it.
So, Backpack, you are just having a great day. You're taking the ballast. You're not 1,000% sure what it does, but you lift it up and it feels good on your muscles. So you pull it back down and you lift it back up, and it's just the repetition feels good. You haven't been able to do your daily like training, and so this is
Supersets.
great. And so, Bucklek,
Kind of fun.
the craft becoming really hard to steer for some reason. It just seems to want to rise and fall, and so you're having some trouble steering it. But you're doing okay. And unbeknownst to either of you, it is
Can't really
because
see you, Alberon.
Powderpog, dripping sweat from her young body, rushing around the craft at 1,000 miles an hour, triaging and fixing all these things. There are sparks flying. Powderpog is over there hammering at it.
Simmer
Suddenly, a
down back
gasket
there.
bursts. He's running over there to fix that. So I will say, mechanically, Bucklek, Backpack, each of you failed, even with the flash of genius. But a natural 20 counts as 2 successes. And so with that, it all comes down to you.
Uh-oh.
You need
right,
a
let's see
success
Zentria.
in order to make it through without consequences. Zentria, how are you assisting? Because right now, you guys are just lurching through this field, just barely missing hazards every which way.
Can I use a cantrip?
What do you want to use?
Shape water?
You absolutely can.
Oh, I would have not
So make
thought.
Make an
use it that
Arcana
way.
check. And this Arcana check, I would say, is really for how effective you are at being able to do
Is
this.
it this one?
Yeah.
8.
Oh wait, 8.
Do you add any Arcana?
I did -1, so 9.
Oh, damn.
Can I also Flash of Genius this?
I might have something in here though. So let me see if I can find something in here that will help
For
us.
a rogue.
Is there anything? So you could Flash of Genius. I'll tell you right now, with the 7, that's not going to beat it.
Oh.
Is there a way that you could help and provide advantage? Anybody? In this moment, you can see your Aetherist is kind of looking out and seeing that the currents are shapeable, and they reach out with magic. And Zentria, when you cast magic, what does it look like?
It looks like a soft dusting of ice.
Okay. So you reach out with your hand, and there is this soft brush, almost like the first frost, kind of in a time lapse across the ground. And as it settles, all of you feel the craft begin to sink rapidly. And you recognize probably not what's supposed to happen. Is there anything that anybody wants to do to help?
Can I use Runic Shield as a reaction to save her from herself?
Yeah, we're using some niche abilities here.
I
So
mean,
Runic
this is
Shield-
it's a combat thing to force an attacker to reroll a d20. So she's attacking just the
water.
like life right now. Just abilities.
I think that's probably not going to work. in this moment. Anybody else have anything that they can do to help?
It
Can
depends.
cast guidance.
Oh yeah, you didn't roll with guidance for yourself, right?
I did.
Oh,
No,
you did?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
I rolled. I
Okay.
think either 2 or 3. Yeah. So there was no helping even with guidance.
Did you say the ship was falling?
Is that considered
it
proficiency?
is in
Can
this
I
moment.
feather fall the ship?
Can you
Get
feather fall
out.
the ship? You can.
It would
It
say
is not
it
falling
is
through
a
air.
Is Arcana considered a proficiency?
For you, it is not.
Do you have a thing that lets you
Doubled.
add? Oh yeah.
All right. What is the hazard that we're gonna run into? Because I might use a spell to react to the hazard, rather than, you know what I mean?
You don't run into a hazard. You guys do a great job. You navigate through this space a little herky-jerky, making your way just barely around various sort of obstacles. You get the sense that if you were maybe a creature in the water and you were able to sense vibrations and things like that, you would be giving off quite a few.
Well, fate is too kind to us.
I have tremor sense, but only for whatever the dwarf. I need to be on stone or some shit.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And in this moment, though, you can definitely feel the vibrations as you were getting tossed around by your own piloting. But you do make your way to the trench. It does take a little bit longer than you imagine it probably would take most people to do so. Maybe walking would have been the correct choice. But you do reach the edge of this geothermal vent. You can see there is just glowing orange from within. There are many cracks and crevices that it is kind of coming from, and so maybe different adjoining tunnels that drop down and down and down into the ocean. Bubbles rise up here. Little bits of smoky water, almost like a chimney underneath the ocean, is like smoking up and up and up from here. And so a little hazy in this area. You can feel your skin prickle even through the magical protections here, as it is quite warm. The beacon, you imagine, could be placed anywhere around the edge here. The terrain is all difficult as the water rushes up. However, you have opted to take this tether, and that will make this a significantly easier task. So, for the ballastier, you have made a perfect journey here. This is going to be very easy for you. They have really teed you up to hit this ball right off the tee. All you need to do, all that you need to do in this moment, is just make a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand? No. Can I?
And you can make it at advantage as you have had a workstation set up for you by Patterpop.
Thanks. Okay.
Can I Flash of Genius this? To add 5.
You can.
So total 18.
Mark off 3 flashes of genius, though. That's 3 out of, I believe, 5 that you have total.
Waste.
18.
18. With an 18, you use these controls alien to you, these different runes that you have to put your hands on. They're cold. They feel a little strange to the touch. But as you slide them around, you can see this little beacon kind of moving on the outside. And you gesture and put it directly over the vent, perfectly center, and you activate it.
Told you I.
Excellent job.
Instantly,
problem.
whoa, there's this flash of hot energy that creates bubbles and a flash of light in the space that you imagine could cook flesh straight off bone. You immediately feel this pulse of energy rivet through the craft, and instantly below you, you see two eyes as this fire giant, through your failings, is now directly beneath you. They are emerging in this moment, and you will now have to race them to shore if you wish to benefit from any of the defenses that are set up.
Oh, great.
And as this fire giant begins to rise, the bubbles forming and a glowing light erupt. Because it is 7:45 and a good place for us to take a quick break, we will step away for a quick break, and then we will come back to see what happens for this encounter. But thank you for sticking with us for Adventures in Alberon. There will be a countdown on your screen. We will be back at the end of it. See you then. And we are back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to D&D. You're a part of it now. When we left off, all of you had triggered the elemental lure outside the lair of this fire giant. You had seen beneath this crevice, beneath the ocean, the eyes light up, and that is where we come in right now. For all of you, you can see now with the beacon activated, let me turn this music down just a tad. Everything that swims, that slithers or skitters in this area suddenly bolts away. Any little fish, any little crustaceans, away, and you can feel beneath you the ground shake and roll, even through the water that your craft is within. The heat ripples, distorts the water around you, and you see this titanic figure begin to emerge. The skin is molten stone wrapped in barnacled bronze. You can see crowned in this scorched bits of coral that rise up and out of the head. Beneath it, you see there's cracked obsidian skin, veins of this fire that pulse. And at the same time, as they begin to rise, you see behind them, charring almost the water and forcing this sudden huge fizz of bubbles, the fire giant extends these large sort of motes of fire that begin to jettison it up, almost like Iron Giant. This thing begins to rise. And we are going to go into a little bit of a chase. Give me 1 second here.
Oh no.
Oh, we definitely need some chase music here.
Okay. I used to have a whole playlist just for the chase.
I was thinking more like
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So, music will kick in just a moment. For each of
It already
you,
did.
as you are rushing in and moving away from this, there's a couple of things that you're going to need to do, a couple of stages that you'll need to go across. Each of you are able to contribute, I believe, twice to this. One of you will only be able to contribute once, and that's absolutely fine. The first thing that you'll need to do as you begin to pull away, immediately the beacon begins to pulse and weaken slightly as the energies shift. Who is going to reinforce the beacon so that the energy is maintained within this thing?
Does it have to be magical, or can I just hold
It
it?
should probably be magical.
Okay, I can do it.
Okay.
I don't know how.
So, Baclec, as you are steering, you look behind you and you can see the beacon begin to flicker and falter. Make an Arcana check as you hold your hand out and you attach to the divine magic that you channel to try to right this resonance.
Okay, Melora, let's go. 16.
With a 16, you succeed by 1. What you
Nice.
needed, and you are able to maintain this connection. You see the energy reignite and flare under the water, and you continue to steer away. Your craft bubbling across the ocean. You can see this fire giant pushing a fist forwards and flying through the water after you. Next, as you are flying across this space, all around you, this fire giant's rise has caused the coral and the stone to crumble in. Debris flies by you. I would say either Baclec or I would say Backpack. One of you will need to either make a piloting check for the craft or an athletics check to try to ballast away from this debris.
I will athletic.
Make an athletics check as you see this debris raining in around you.
21.
With a 21, you easily are able to shift this thing. And now, with a little bit more experience with this craft, it isn't just lifting up and down. You know that. You can go left, you can go right. There are all kinds of directions underwater that you can go. And you evade this debris. You move under eruptions of magma that jettison across the water. And easily, you are able to get closer to shore. Now, in this moment, with debris falling, with fire and magma jettisoning, you can see the eyes of the fire giant blink. And in the distance, they seem to lose focus on you for just a moment. Somebody needs to draw Solmore's focus.
I got that.
How are you doing that?
He locks eyes on. He sees the giant losing focus, and he starts to pat the outside of the hull. Papa Pug, now! And then the frog outside, you hear bah, as a force blister shoots from its mouth to try to hit
Great. Make an attack roll. I love that.
the fire giant. All right, I believe that is. Let's see. All right, 20, dirty 20 to hit.
That is a hit. And in this moment, as you are flying away and this creature loses focus, you see the eyes of this titan flicker off to the left and then the right. This thing pulses through the water. You don't need to roll damage because you are able to strike, and at this distance through the water, it doesn't do very much, but it focuses their attention in, and they follow you through. You are moving quickly now, and you can see the water shifting. You can see the teal from the sky overhead. You are getting close to the beach. You imagine that in this moment, you have actually done well enough, succeeding in every single one of your checks so far, to be only a check away from bursting onto the beach.
Ooh.
How are you deciding where to emerge on this beach? would
Safe
s-
spot.
I would say, Liz, for you, you are at the controls of all of the different scanners and things like that. If you want, you could go ahead and make a perception check to find a safe place to emerge.
Can I flash of geniuses?
You can.
Choose those.
Is perception
resources.
20-sided dice. And then it's a skill, yeah.
and it's it's not expertise, is it?
I believe you're definitely proficient in it. I don't know if you're expert in it.
Expertise, you usually pick which one's your expertise in.
And it's
Oh,
passive,
yeah.
so Joe would have done it
Wait.
already.
Yeah.
It's perception, yes. No. 18.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wait. 21.
With a 21. Let me give you a visual perspective
Hell
and some options.
yeah.
We need room for that middle part of the table there. There's a little bit of a larger map.
Hell yeah.
So I'm going to have to describe a couple of these things.
Oh shit! What the
Ooh!
fuck?
This. Careful camera. 11 that. Whoop. Well, we can just tuck that right back in there.
Was it in here?
This
Yeah, it was,
is,
in that tower, yeah.
even by your standards, this is phenomenal.
So,
What is it?
let me put up our battle camera so
like a-
people can see this.
Big crossbow.
Launcher?
Balustrade, I think it's called.
It is a ballista.
Ballista.
And so for those of you at home, you can see a little bit of this encounter map on your screen. You can see it in much greater detail at AlberonRPG. If people take pictures, we got
guy's doing it.
Vincent the
He's on it.
MVP, Vincent
Vincent's
and
the
all of
king.
actually the MVPs of taking photos. But you can see, Liz, on your scanners, you focus the dials here. You have been kind of tinkering around with this now for some time, and over the journey, you've become very good at using these scanners. And you see swimming up in front of you on this piece of storm glass representations of everything that you see. You can place yourself and you can emerge anywhere here on the beach. You know that these two towers each contain one of these ballista, and that ballista, because you guys did not succeed on your checks to set that trap and kind of make the journey initially, and they were able to detect you, that ballista will take a total of 4 turns to charge up. So you do have some time before that will be able to help, but those are massive bolts. Each of those ballista fire an entire tree that has been shaped into an arrow. This tree carved with runes of frost magic. They're devastating in their ability. You may want to put this creature in front of one of them. You also see these 2 towers of kind of broken stone. Each one of those is carved with frost and force runes that will also do damage to this frost giant. Those will take 2 turns to activate. You imagine if you had succeeded on some more of your previous checks, you might be getting the advantage to those right away. You also see other sort of members of the Fareshore militia up and down the beach manning these different stations. They are available to help you. At the same gesture, you see off to the left, off to the right, as you rush towards the shore, little embers appear as fire elementals also following in the wake of the fire giant. So, Liz, where do you want to emerge from the ocean?
I would like to ask my collective team what
Yeah.
they think.
In front of the ballista. Or,
Sounds
like,
good.
right there. Oh,
So this is roughly the size of that craft. If you want to put that out there, you guys can kind of pull that up. And for you, Buklek, you can kind of follow this direction and just beach this craft all the way up and onto this. And the shell right at the end pops open, meaning all of you are able to just leave using your movement, no action or bonus action required. You have set yourself up perfectly to exit. Following in your wake...
Oh no, here it comes.
Still a good 40 feet off.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Liz parked that thing up there. Is the Fire Giant, and
That really is a giant.
off in the distance.
We fought this guy before in
I love the
D&D group
painting. Is
months ago.
gorgeous.
That's why.
Your turn.
You can see in the water,
Oh no.
in different parts of the beach, more of these fire elementals.
Wait, there's 3?
And you see them, not just these 3, you see dozens to the left and to the right, all up and down the beach. This is almost an invasion force that is coming along with this fire giant.
What have we done?
Can everybody please roll for initiative?
Damn it! I was hoping to
Roll,
do
roll,
something.
roll,
Can we?
roll.
Is there any time for doing a thing before initiative, or is that?
If you are rolling higher than the enemy, you'll have a chance at a surprise round. That's what I'll say.
Huh? It will be
Very fair.
It's exceptionally fair, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Especially based on my roll. Okay, so anybody natural 20 for initiative? 25 to 20.
I have 26.
26. Very
Wow.
nice.
Nice.
Wait, you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, and then I got
Ah,
26.
okay.
Oh yeah. So
That's
natural
more
20
important.
actually is like better
Yeah,
than
now 20
26.
is the best of the best.
So 20
you're king
to
of the hill.
15.
20 to 15. Nope.
Oh, 15 to 10.
13.
13 for Baclek.
Click.
Okay,
Damn, you
never
guys.
mind. I thought we were going to get a little bit better than that. Coming in then is Salmore.
I'm not fast.
10 to 5.
6.
So we have 9 for Backpack and 6 for Powder Pog. So the way that this works out, Zentria, you're going to be starting us off, followed by Baclek, then Salmore and the Elemental, then Backpack, who I just wrote down as Back, and then Powder Pog at the very end.
Back
On
to my
initiative
friends.
0, all others are going to go. And at initiative order 20, so actually right after you, which almost never happens, will be layer actions.
No.
So, Zentria, what would you like to do? You see in front of you, this craft pops open. You feel the air kind of strike you. You can hear shouting, people shouting that the fire giant's coming. You can see these massive tools of war kind of aimed in your direction. What are you doing?
I'm gonna actually turn around and do a sneak attack to our enemy right behind us.
Okay, so make an attack roll.
16. Do I add anything?
So you add your, I believe you have a crossbow. I can't remember if it's
do,
cross. So what is the modifier for your crossbow? Plus
That's a short bow plus 7.
7. So add 7 to what you rolled. What was the total?
So that'd be 23.
With a 23, that is a hit. You are a swashbuckler. And as you are, as they are not within any enemies or allies, same thing with you, you actually get sneak attack, even though you do not have advantage on the roll. So you can roll damage for sneak attack, which is the damage for the short bow plus 4d6.
D6s are the QB boys.
Yeah. Oliver, if you want to help out
Oh,
with
sorry.
that.
I don't know. It's just like, wait.
Oh.
All right, so
Oh, yeah.
so you hit with your short bow, so that's 1d6 plus 4 deer.
Got
So
it.
you roll that. 10 points of see, it's 1d6 plus 4,
So 10.
so 10.
And then add 4 more d6 for the sneak attack.
Oh, okay. So
Rogues, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
all
roll
of these?
all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 6, 7, 8, and then let's see, is it 14?
So 14 plus 10 is 24 damage.
24 points
Nice!
of
That's a
damage.
nice roll.
Yeah,
That's a
as
great
you
roll.
fire, it is a great shot through the ocean. You kind of skip it off the water and hit under this plate of armor. You can hear this as it bubbles through the water, and steam immediately bursts out as they enrages them. It does the full amount of damage that you would expect. Anything else?
You can still move on your turn.
Oh, true. Okay.
would like to...
No, I'll stay here.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. You
Okay.
kind of duck down using the craft as cover. That is your turn. That brings us to Beklek.
All right, Rolla, let's see if this thing works. And she clicks her her arm guards of fire resistance and is going to
Absolutely.
cast Armor of Agathis at 3rd level.
Absolutely. So instantly, as you cast that ability all around you, it is like the air hardens and condenses, the moisture drawn away, the crash of foam instantly freezes and then is drawn in, and around you, you gain these icy pauldrons, you gain this icy gorget, you have ice armor across your body.
Call me Emma Frost.
Okay, Emma Frost.
Who's that? I'm going to move 20 feet closer to the shore. Vincent or Hannah, if you could help me.
Towards, like this?
Yeah.
That's 20 feet.
Yeah.
So you leap out of this muscle. For all the rest of your party, because you're so short, you just disappear out of sight. And then you see on short little legs this dwarf running across the sand.
Her flip-flops are kicking up sand behind her.
Fantastic. Anything else, Beklek?
She turns around and she says, "Over here!"
You shout, and that does bring us to Solomor and the elementals. So first, they are going to swim 35 feet. And... oh, this is great.
Oh, cornered.
Oh, I thought you said he was 40 feet away.
He's got big legs.
They are going to rush and dash to get here.
Oh, no.
They are going to stop right here and grab onto the craft. And they are going to rush and dash 10, 40, 50, 60 feet there. So these fire elementals crash aboard the shore. They burst out from the water almost like these explosions of steam that take on these fire elemental shapes that burn across the sand. As they cross, bits of sand kind of crack and pop, and they make their way in the direction of these siege towers. This fire giant makes their way to the back of the craft, and with this popped open, they're going to look down, and still in the craft is Backpack, is Zentria, and
I
that's
think-
really...
I think Zentria was outside, right? She was ducking down at
No. I'm still
Still
in it.
still in it, using it as like cover almost.
Oh. Nice.
I'm still
and so-
there.
Yeah. So 3 of you, which is perfect, they're going to make 3 attacks. You can see from underneath the water, they draw up their hand, and in their hand there is a massive greatsword, and they swing it overhead, and first are going to slash it down at you, Powderpog. That is going to be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
As they strike you, Powderpog, you are taking 6, 7, 8, 9, second, 10, 11, ooh, very nice. 18 points of slashing damage as they just barely dig the tip into you, kind of wedging it into elements of this craft.
Felt more
They dig it back and slam it into you, Zentria. That is going to be only actually a 20 to hit, which I believe hits. And so Zentria, that is going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 19, 25 points of slashing damage. A tremendous amount as they carve into you. And actually, they only get 2 attacks, not 3. So that is both of their attacks. Next, as they swing this away from you, Zentria, and your blood on the steel, they twist it, and you can see the blood almost drawn into the runes along this blade, and they use ignition. You can see the entire greatsword alights, and the next attack with this will likely deal some extra damage. That is their action, their bonus action, their movement. You can feel around them, those of you who are close. If you end your turn near this creature, almost certainly you will be taking some damage. Many of you have heard of fire giants before. This one seems almost impossibly hot. And in fact, as they cross the beach, where they step, their feet light the sand on fire and create difficult terrain that will likely cause damage in its wake. But that is their turn.
Can I please make a reaction at the end of its turn?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have him go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for my stone rune feature.
Okay.
DC 14.
What kind of save?
Wisdom?
That is going to be a 18.
Damn it.
And so you kind of anchor these runes, attempting to do something to ensnare this creature. Unable to do so, they burst through. You feel rage within them that is beyond what you would expect for this entity, for simply having disturbed it from its slumber. But that is this creature's turn. Oh, yeah.
Can I make a uncanny dodge?
You can. So in using Uncanny Dodge, when it makes that attack, you half that damage. You are able to throw yourself almost out of the way. And instead of taking a slash, you just get slammed with the side of the blade. So you take only half that, which I believe is 7. That brings us to Backpack. Backpack, your magic does not work on the giant. But what do you want to do?
Well, that makes me want to get big. So I do. I use Giant's Might. Functionally, it's basically the same as Rage, except not as mad,
Yeah.
just big.
Yeah.
And then she's going to, mechanically just walk up to the giant, but flavor-wise, she leaps toward the giant and grabs him with her. She's gonna do a grapple.
Okay.
And this is, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around the rules here, so
You're making an athletics check.
it's a contested athletics
Yes,
check, I
it
think?
is. You are
Yes.
trying to grapple a giant.
Okay, and I have advantage
Amazing.
because I'm big. Yes, I am size large, which means I'm allowed.
Yep.
I assume he's huge.
He is huge.
Nice. 17.
You rolled a natural 1.
Yeah!
And so in this moment, you
Go get him,
grapple
Tiger.
this creature, this giant who you come up to like their knee, you grab onto them and they go to kick you off and they cannot lift their leg. They roar in rage. And do you speak giant?
I do.
In giant, they look down. You can see fire leaking from their eyes, almost as if tears. You can see even the blackened obsidian-like skin seems to be flaking away from this fire. And they screech at you, "You do not understand. It burns from within." And they attempt to shake you off. There is not just rage. Make an insight check, Backpack.
Because I said, he's in love.
Oh, I have advantage. I always forget I have advantage. 10.
He's in love.
I
That
knew
is
it!
your turn, Backpack.
No, I still have my second
Yes,
attack,
you do.
and okay. First, as a free action, I'm gonna be like, "What do you mean it burns from inside?" Like, I'm just gonna yell that out.
Sure.
Maybe someone else will be able to figure it out, and then I'm gonna punch him.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Okay. A lot of 9s today. 17.
17 is a miss.
Okay.
You try to punch this person, but with your arms already wrapped around their leg, it does not seem to work. And
Sounds
anything
interesting.
else? Backpack.
Nope. So just he is grappled.
At the end of your turn, as a legendary action,
No.
and as a free action, as a response, they shout, "The fire! It burns!" And they raise up a hand and they molten slam you with this attack. That is going to be a natural 20 for a
Oh.
total of 31 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Give me 1 second to roll some damage.
Is this gonna
here.
be fire damage?
This is going to be bludgeoning damage.
Well, what if I want it to be fire damage?
Then you can hope real hard, but it's not super effective. That's 16, 17, 18. Oh, that sucks. That is 25. That is 50 points of bludgeoning damage, friend.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is. It's too much.
And can you make a strength saving throw, please?
Yeah. Strength, do I have advantage
That's
on
devastating.
those two?
That, yeah.
Critical
What?
hits on a legendary action is pretty rough.
I do have advantage. Okay.
She's taking PTO.
Let me see. Strength save 26.
As this hits you, you are almost level. This slam almost pushes you into the sand by 10 feet. You can feel as your legs begin to buckle, your bones want to snap, your tendons want to rip, but you stand firm. You have trained with creatures, maybe not this big, but certainly this strong, and you hold firm for the rest of you. You watch as this Minotaur puts their arms up and meets the giant in mid-ground, and the Minotaur sinks 6 feet into the sand. They sink, creating a pit around them, but back, you do not yield, you do not fall prone. That is the Fire Giant's turn. That's their legendary action after your turn, rather. That brings us to Powderpog.
Alright, so Powderpog is gonna be like, ah! Then 1, 2, 3, 4 force damage.
10 points of force damage, which does the full amount that you would expect.
Alright, and it also pushes him 5 feet away. Does that work?
I believe it does.
It didn't have any size restriction.
I know, I think it does. So in this moment, they are shoved backwards.
Are you holding on to them?
It opens its mouth, and this frog, and there is a huge beam of force energy, and it hits this fire giant, barely denting its armor, but this creature stumbles back 5 feet as the frog pushes him back. This does provoke attacks of opportunity from you, Backpack, if you wish.
Am I still
And Zentria, I
grappling
believe
him?
if you wish to make a attack of opportunity, you can as well.
If you are your target,
You failed the grappling.
involuntary. Okay, so yeah, the grapple ends, but I would like a little attack of opportunity there.
You cannot. You need Warcaster, a special feat to do that as a reaction.
That is a whole lot on my attack of opportunity.
It's good.
27.
That is a hit. Make your damage roll. As they are shoved back by this frog cannon, you make your attack.
Ooh, min damage, boys. 6 bludgeoning damage.
Hey, but it's still 6 points of damage, more than they had before. You punch them. They barely seem to register that as you move away. Powderpog, anything else?
Yeah, for my turn, I will, let's see. I have my, so I take out my staff, and I take my all-purpose tool, which now is a screwdriver. I'm gonna grab the staff and level at him and stick the screwdriver in, and then crank it, and use that as my focus to fire a ray of frost at the fire giant.
Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Oh no!
Oh no. Wow,
13.
bad rolls.
With a
except for that one
13,
nat.
you fire, and in this moment in the distance, you can see like a picturesque moment away from the battle where a dolphin breaches the ocean and like leaps up into the sunlight, glimmering, and it's just struck by this wave. It just falls down. You can see slowly like flying.
I took care of its reinforcements.
This dolphin's like, oh no. Just kind of drifts off in the water, unhurt but frozen. Anything else, Powderpog?
I'll be it.
Hopefully
right.
that was one of the assholes.
Damage the environment.
A lot of them
Yes.
are assholes.
Oh, that is.
Said it twice,
Mhm.
and I have a cantrip that says detect magic.
Yeah.
I would like to use it.
Oh.
In this moment, hearing Backpack say this, you grow suspicious. And you cast Detect Magic. In this moment, kind of holding up your hands and peering through this space, you see layers of the weave overlaid the rest of the material plane. You can see the strings of magic that connect. And certainly, within this creature, there is a powerful magic that should not be here. The magic that is within burns, and it burns with a primordial light, something unlike almost anything that you have ever seen. For free, make a nature or arcana check, your choice, whichever one's higher, or history could work too. I would even say religion could work here.
That's so many actions.
They're all low. Arcana, history, nature, or religion are all negative.
So roll a 20-sided dice and hope you roll high.
Low end.
Nice!
18?
With an 18, you are looking at the trapped spirit of a phoenix.
That's what I thought.
You are
Phoenix?
seeing
That's
a creature that traditionally, when they die, are reborn in a smoldering ember and burst of flame. At some point, when this creature died, it was trapped within this fire giant and is unable to reincarnate. This fire giant does not seem to be a witting participant in this, does not understand what is happening to it, and is confused and frightened at this effect. This is beyond its control. It's furious. It's lashing out at everything. And you recognize all at once, this is not an attack. You are witnessing the suffering of a creature.
Can I use a second cantrip?
No, one per turn.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. I've got so
So that
many
is your
great
action.
spells.
You still have movement and bonus action. Is there anything else that you want to do?
It says I can take a bonus action on each of turns to. Okay, no. Darn. Okay. I speak to my colleagues here that I have a cantrip that's Ice Knife. If anybody else has something similar where you can like get into the body of the giant,
Yes.
that would be great.
Why do we want to do that? Why do we want to do
To
that?
save the phoenix.
What phoenix? That's a giant!
Do you do the whole explanation?
What?
Do you tell us like everything that you learned?
We don't know what you learned.
Oh, okay.
But if you say you tell us, then
Oh,
yes.
so yeah, I see inside this body a very pretty phoenix, and it is crying inside. It's stuck, and we need to save it. Prisoner, and it's a poor victim.
So whether or not you choose to believe this, Zentria has told you that there is a phoenix within this creature. That is your turn, Zentria.
I think back whether Zentria touched my skin or not.
For Grung, they cause hallucinations if you touch their skin. So.
Oh!
That is your
those
turn,
real life
Zentria.
frogs that you can lick, you know?
Yeah. Baklak, you
Clack.
hear Zentria yell out that there is a phoenix trapped inside this creature. You can see fire elementals storming the beach. What do you want to do? This creature slamming into your friends.
Yep. Well then we must break her out. And she starts to swing her dwarven thrower like a lacrosse Chad swinging his lanyard. She lifts it up and like whips it across and goes for the knees.
Phenomenal.
Let's
So a dwarven thrower, I think, if I remember correctly from my
Range of 20
D&D
feet.
lore, so it's like a hammer that they're throwing, like a
It
throwable
is. I'm
hammer.
throwing
But
a
I like
hammer.
the idea that it's more like a sling, that you're like literally like David and Goliath slinging into this creature.
Dope.
Phenomenal.
Maybe it's one of her umbrellas actually.
Yeah, love it.
She just whips an unopened umbrella. Okay. Let's see. Let me pull up my weapons. Dun, 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 dun. 20 to hit. Wait.
20 hits.
Yeah, 20 to hit.
20 hits.
Okay, get ready. I'm gonna need a bunch of d8s here. Alright, so I've got 3 d8s.
Where are all these D8s coming from?
So Dwarven Thrower is 1d8 plus 3, but where did I get it? If the target is a giant, you get an extra 2d8 of force damage.
There you go.
Nice.
Yes.
There you go.
Because fuck giant.
These weapons
But this
specifically
one, it seems
designed.
like
These
it's
are
kinda nice.
so these are very much designed like David and Goliath slings. It's very much that in the flavor,
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
which I'm just now realizing.
24, 25, 26. 26 on the first attack.
Very nice. You slam into this creature, and it does the full amount that you would expect.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to
Nice. Don't kill it.
full movement up
like
to
that.
it. Oh, you also see the hammer. Well, sorry, the umbrella hits him in the knees and then back into her hand.
Just the knees. She's inside here, not the knees.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not thinking that far ahead.
Okay.
She goes for the knees again. She swings the umbrella up and comes down. 4. Oh, come on.
How'd you get a
Kill
cock
this
die?
giant.
Oh, okay.
What?
It was hard getting a cock die. Means that it's like
I know, it was
roll.
literally
It's very hard to do
between.
there. Yeah.
So
Good
dwarven
idea.
thrower. So.
I also have an idea.
It's going to be over a 20 to hit again.
Over a 20 will definitely hit. So roll damage on that.
All right.
You throw this umbrella, and as it comes back to you, you just kind of spin it with your hands, and it goes again
Wow,
right around.
I keep rolling 8s on these d8s.
Nice today, huh?
Okay, so. Wait, 13. 20 points of damage
You
on the
slam.
second
You
attack.
take this umbrella
Wow.
and you throw it, and it works like a boomerang, almost
Oh,
going
okay.
around, hitting this creature. And then instead of catching it, you just like toss it with your fingers, and it goes around again and hits this creature. And really, you're just kind of running around this thing, using the umbrella to harry it. It swats at the umbrella, it swats again, but you're always just one step ahead, and you are dealing good amounts of damage to this creature. Anything else, Baklek?
Yes, bonus action. She reaches into her pocket pulls out one of those tiny bottles of sunscreen for your face. Just it onto your face, or I guess your knees.
Whatever.
You're real tall. She's real short.
Yeah. Lay on hands for 30 points of healing.
Whoa!
This is the dopest sunscreen that you have ever felt. As soon as it touches your body, this is the kind of stuff that you know as soon as you touch it, like it's too expensive for you to be using. Immediately, you're like, whoa. It feels
Like diamonds.
unreal.
My knees feel amazing!
Anything else, Buklek?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she just
Thank you.
puts the umbrella back on her shoulder and feels good about herself.
Absolutely. And this fire giant is going to look down at you and be quite mad. It's actually in a perfect position for this right now, so it doesn't need to move. The fire elementals will, though. They are going to catch up with this orc. They are going to be doing some battle. This one is going to catch up with you. And this one is going to start igniting this tower.
No.
No.
It shouldn't do that.
I know. You can see that tower begins to ignite as this fire elemental hugs the sort of leg and then just merges into the fire, growing hotter and more concentrated. They are just trying to burn this thing down. You see the one begin to swing flames at this orc. The orc pulls out a rapier and they are doing battle off in the corner. The one who is fighting you, Vincent, or Powder Pog, they're going to take a single slam attack against you. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Oh, that just misses.
They slam down, and you are able to just stay safe. That does bring us to the fire giant, though. For you, Buklek, as you throw this umbrella around again and again, you draw this creature's ire, certainly. And looking down, they pull this greatsword, and they are going to take 2 attacks against you, the first of which is going to benefit from ignition. First one is going to be a 19 to hit.
Pizza.
Ooh. So, this hits.
I'm gonna use my reaction to use Runic Shield and force him to go ahead and re-roll that bad Larry. I was waiting for a natty, but
17 to hit.
Miss!
Woo!
So,
Clang! Off of her.
I do want to say, you just saved Buklek from 8d6 worth of fire damage.
you said something about ignition.
As
I was
this
thinking about that.
slams down, you imagine as it hit, this fire could have leapt from the sword and just sunk into Buklek, into the armor, into the joints of the mail, and really caught them on fire from within. You save them from a tremendous amount of damage. As this runic shield shows up, right as the sword gets close to your face, inches away, the blade just stops. And you see thousands of these runes burst into place, just barely catching it like a net. Some of them bursting and snapping even now. You start to back up. But that is this creature's ignition strike.
Brother!
The second attack is going to be a 18 to hit.
Miss!
And so, again and again, they try to strike you using your umbrella, using the benefits of this runic shield. You are able to keep yourself safe. Does their ignition recharge? Where am I holding on? It does not, so they have no bonus actions. That is their total turn. Actually, they are going to move because they have smoldering footsteps. They are going to just bump, 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 bump. And this is all now on fire. If you choose to cross that, anybody, you will take some damage. Oh, thank you. Forgot to bring out my glitter.
Aww.
That is Solomore and the elementals. That brings us to Backpack.
Alright. Backpack is going to come over here. Oops. And
Wrecking everything.
Yeah.
good. Like that. So she's gonna shimmy in right here and be like, or she's gonna come here and then just skirt around in front. And be like, I'm helping! And then attempt to grapple.
Okay, make your grapple. You are trying to grapple a giant.
Yeah, natural 20.
Oh, fuck
For
yeah!
well, natural 20, that's a
No,
success.
for a total of 30.
26.
Oh!
So this is now, this creature, the last time that they slammed down, they pushed you 6 feet into the sand. You rise from this as Buklak is doing damage and like battling, and as Zentria is kind of holding off into the corner. You just have enough of a time to like rise up, and you go to grab this creature, and again, they meet you halfway, but this time instead of being pushed down, you push them slightly up, and they just leap up onto their tippy toes. They are just a little bit off balance, and you grapple them.
And now, as a bonus action, because I have Tavern Brawler, I am going to attempt to knock it prone.
Absolutely.
So this is another contested athletics check.
Oh, I love this.
27.
Natural 1. Backpack, you lift this creature up, you slide along behind it, you reach behind its knee, you are just grabbing it around its entire leg, and then you lift with every muscle in your being, this special suntan lotion seeming to really bolster your strength. You lift, and everybody, you watch as Backpack lifts the fire giant off their feet. Just 6 inches at first, and then a full foot, and then you lift them, and in this moment, you could see like hands pinwheeling. You could hear they shift from yelling, "It burns," to just, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." As you lift them up, and then using only their leg, you German suplex them backwards and into the sand.
Yes.
They slam down. There is a roar of cheers all up and down the beach as Backpack just completely German suplexes a fire giant into the beach.
And then,
So sick.
They get plus 11 to athletics checks. They're immensely strong.
Yeah. So, well, we talked. This is a stress test of the campaign pre-build to see whether it would be any good against Biggin.
Super cool.
Okay, so is the giant on its back or on its stomach?
On its back.
On its back. Okay, so Tonki kind of clambers up onto it, and is looking at its chest, to try to see the phoenix.
Yeah.
Where is it? And then just to the giant ostensibly, but just she gets real loud when she's big.
Yeah.
She's just going to be like, "I will help you find and get rid of the phoenix." And then she said it was like inside its chest. So Backpack's gonna be like an attempt to do like a Kali Ma situation with, and this is an attack, an unarmed strike.
Absolutely. Make your unarmed strike. Make it at advantage.
Oh, right, because prone.
This is such a movie right now.
Yeah.
It really is.
26, I think.
26 is a hit.
Okay. And so that's gonna be a little D8 circle. 15 points of bludgeoning.
15 points of bludgeoning damage. And
12 points of bludgeoning.
12 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay. You deal 12 points of bludgeoning damage to this creature. Give me just 1 second. Gotta pull up my stat block here. As you slam into this, reaching, looking for this, you hit this creature. You can't reach into its flesh. The skin itself almost made out of obsidian and brass, but as you punch in and the strike reverberates through the physical being of this creature, somewhere on the inside you feel a hollow space. And in that moment, you feel somewhere within this creature something break. Fire erupts off of this fire giant. They grow hotter, but this phoenix grows just a little bit closer to being free. And you get the sense that you do need to deal a little bit more damage to be able to get this thing loose.
Okay, and so she's gonna go, "Keep hitting!"
That is, so you watch as Backpack German suplexes a fire giant, straddles it, and just starts punching it in the chest, yelling, "Keep hitting it!" And people scream, people cheer. You can hear one of the orcs who is steering this ballista point down at the fire elemental, but then forgetting it, just pull this thing around. All things are aimed now towards this fire giant. You have drawn some attention.
This pleases me.
That is Backpack's turn. That brings us to Powder Pocket.
Do I think that I can reattune the tether shard to the phoenix to help dislodge it?
Powder Pod, let me just say, I was not hallucinating.
Zentria leans over as you're trying to do like calculations. Not super helpful. In this moment, you get the sense you would need to, as an action, make a successful Arcana check to understand how to do that. But you get the sense that it's possible.
Okay. All right. Okay, I will say to the group, get this fire thing off me. Let me see if I can help dislodge the phoenix. And so I'm gonna have, so Grungs have like a big leap. So I'm gonna just leap to the other side of this fire elemental. And I'm gonna squat down, close my ears, and go, Papa Pug, now! And he's gonna shoot the fire elemental.
Yeah. Make
So
your
that will
attack
be a 21 to hit.
That hits. This fire elemental follows you as you leap over it. It's about to strike, and in that moment, this frog opens its mouth and this beam straight into it.
14 force damage.
14 points of force damage, hitting that elemental hard. You can see it is rattled. It deals the full amount of damage that you would expect.
Importantly, it pushes it away, so now I can squat away with the thing.
Very nice. Yes, it does get pushed.
Squat. And I'm gonna go to the tether shard that's in the baluster, I believe, and make a check to... You said I need to make a check first on how to do it.
Make an Arcana check, yeah.
All right,
so you
I'll
can
do
see
that.
it, you've formed sort of a structure to make it usable, and that actually works to your advantage. The DC is a little bit decreased. You've worked with this before.
Alright. Alright, Arcana check will be a 22.
Okay.
With a 22. You look at this and understanding immediately the resonance and frequency of this, hearing what it sounds like for your allies to strike this creature, hearing that detect magic detects a phoenix on the inside. With all of these things combined, you know that you need to attune this to a very specific kind of energy. You absolutely can. And within this shard, you reorient the magical energies that you were balancing before to not be balanced, but to be all the way unbalanced. And it begins to glow bright in your hand. If you were to be able to thrust this into the chest of this creature, if this creature has done enough damage and you have not killed the fire giant yet, you could probably set this phoenix free.
Okay. Eureka! I think I can do it!
And functionally, we'll say that this will be a dagger, so anybody proficient in using daggers could use this.
I've attuned the shard to the phoenix! Just stab the chest, but don't kill the fire giant! And I think that's my turn, right?
Very nice.
So I kind of like reach it out to anyone to take, and I basically say, yeah.
Reach it up, this fire elemental flares to life, getting closer to you again. You can see this fire giant flailing around with a backpack like riding on top of it. There's not a ton of people immediately here to grab it from you, but
There is.
Everybody here is.
There is a rogue.
That is true. And that does bring us to all others on the field. Here on the battlefield, this orc who is doing battle cannot fire their frost runes, but the one over here absolutely can. And in this moment,
Your camera froze.
No! Hang on, me.
You want me just unplug it and replug it here?
You can try. I don't know if that'll work though. It's okay.
I mean, this is a good, like...
Yeah, I know. I'm the least important to everybody.
That's a lie.
In this moment, that's so funny that happened. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. In this moment, as you do all of those things, Powder Pog, this one frost elemental is going to fire at the fire giant who is down. For you, Backpack, you have to like kind of throw yourself to the side as this fires. They are going to take 12, 13, 14, 15 points of cold damage, which is doubled to 30. And so with that burst, you hear this fire giant roar. And for you, Powder Pog, you actually kind of see there is this moment where the phoenix retracts ever so slightly, almost afraid of this cold energy. But that is all others' turns. That brings us to the top of the round and to Zentria. The Grung, very excited Grung at your feet, kind of thrusts out this shard of crystal towards you, telling you that you could use this to free the phoenix potentially.
So do you think that would be smartest and then we wouldn't kill her by accident?
No, that's what it's for, dear.
Okay.
It will free and keep them both alive, assuming that the stab doesn't kill the giant.
Freedom is good.
I do have a lot of experience with lots of weapons, including simple weapons. Is it this dice that I roll?
Yeah, so you take that kind of artifact out of the Grung's hands. If you want, you can then very quickly kind of like leap over the edge of this, and you are right next to this fallen fire giant. The fire giant's prone, backpack, riding on top of it, just punching it in the chest again and again. You have advantage on this attack roll, which means it's a sneak attack. So roll 2 20-sided dice and take the higher of the two.
Papa Pog! Baby Pog! Watch this!
18 plus. So for stabbing,
It's gonna be dexterity plus proficiency added on.
so your dex over here is +4, and then proficiency is +3. So it's 18 plus 5. Yep.
So 23. With a 23, you leap out of this, you hold this shard like a dagger in your hands. It almost feels like it was made to be used in this way. And you leap across this space and stab into this creature. That hits. So roll your damage and roll your sneak attack damage.
Both crossed.
Or just one?
So if it's sneak, so you're gonna roll this one first.
Can she choose
to
not?
sneak attack if she wants to?
Yes, because you may, so you don't have to do sneak attack. Now, that being said, this creature relatively unhurt at this moment. It might be good to do
Oh,
sneak
really? Okay, never mind.
6.
We did so much damage to it.
6 plus.
I was
now
worried we were
roll
gonna kill it
d6.
inadvertently.
He's a big old head guy.
3, 8, and then 11, and 5, 16.
16.
16 plus 6. And then, yeah.
22, and then... Do we want more? Or?
Nope.
And then probably plus, did you add your
Well,
dex?
no, I didn't add dex. So dex.
So it'd
would
be another 4.
Yeah, so
26.
26.
That is 26, and because it is using the shard that you reattuned, that is 26 points of cold damage, which is twice as effective as you would imagine it to be. That
nice.
is a total of 52 points of damage. And now, as you plunge this in and you whisper, "We're going to save you," you feel the magical energy leach out of this thing and crackle into this fire giant, and you feel something within this fire giant break. For just a moment, for you, Backpack, you could hear this grunt, and the fire giant says in giant, "It's working! I can feel it breaking free!" And it roars. You can see, still enraged, still not able to think clearly, but this fire giant is very close to being free of this phoenix. But with that most recent strike, it is also now looking pretty hurt. That was a lot of damage. Anything else, Zentria?
If I were to put it into a trance, would it be able to heal a bit?
Perhaps. What kind of trance? What are you trying to use to put into a trance?
I just have...
I think that is something that you can do for
Yeah,
yourself.
you can take a trance to rest, but you're not able to put them into a trance automatically.
Okay.
Okay, not to worry.
That's it.
So that is your turn, Zentria. You plunge this shard deep into this creature. It deals devastating amounts of cold damage that seem to break this creature partially free. That brings us to Beklek.
Okay, I'm going to... Do I have to kill the fire giant? I don't want to kill either one of them.
I did say out loud that we don't need to kill them. I think we can separate and keep them both alive.
But how? By breaking its chest?
No,
Well, I think
using the attuned shard that we're hitting it with.
The goal is to
Well, this
do
isn't
damage,
like
but not so much damage that we kill the giant.
Okay, first attack.
Okay, make your attack roll.
On its ankles. Okay.
Okay.
Revs up the hammer. We're going to... Okay. 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Here we go.
And you're rolling at advantage as this creature is prone.
Okay, well, let's see if I didn't get an at 20. So I need my D8.
Right, ankle damage. Jostling
Alright.
the phoenix for...
Only ankle.
13. 20 points of damage on the first attack.
Very nice. He's starting to look kind of hurt.
Okay.
Did that help the phoenix dislodge at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
You haven't seen a difference there, but this creature is looking pretty hurt. And you would imagine that if things are consistent, you're close to breaking the final seal.
Goes in for the second attack.
Okay.
On the other ankle, lines her umbrella up.
Fucking misery
Ka-ching!
over here.
Okay, dirty 20 to hit.
That is a hit.
All right. 13. 13, and then I'll Divine Smite.
Okay. What kind of damage is Divine Smite?
I mean, 2d8 Radiant.
Okay.
So, an extra 6 on top of that.
As you strike into this creature, Buklek, there is a solid crack. And you can feel something within this loosen. And all at once, backpack, you feel the fire giant just go limp for just a moment as they sigh. And as they sigh, you see this flame rush out.
Of its
And
ankles?
It rushes out of its mouth.
Oh.
You see it gain shape. It becomes this huge bird. But this bird twisted, this bird blackened and charred. This phoenix has not completed its cycle. This phoenix has not fully fallen. It is still very much alive. Give me 1 second.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
do we have to beat
I-
up the phoenix now?
No, we gotta
Hold
keep
on.
the Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm just realizing, wait a minute, what if the phoenix is also angry? And
Yeah,
not our
wait,
friend?
yeah, I didn't think about that either.
That would make sense because he. Oh,
I can
but
heal
now
the Phoenix.
the giant is our
Well,
friend.
he's charred because he was in the fire.
Holy
Oh my
shit, that is a
God.
giant
Oh my
bird,
God.
brother!
What the?
Oh my god.
That came out of your body?
And you can see pouring out fire as a plasma has very low volume, in fact, technically none. And as it pours out and gains shape, at first it is just like fire releasing from a punctured butane tank, but then it grows shape and becomes a cloud. And then from a cloud, it is like these two wings out, and there is this huge fire bird. But you can see, unlike a normal phoenix that would burn with this beautiful radiant fire, there is darkness, there is blackened embers and parts of this hardened mantle that seem to be weighing it down, that seem to be almost chaining it to this earth. The fire giant, you can see the eyes snap open.
No.
You can see it seems to kind of looks to push you off, backpack, but you feel the hand much, it's not tossing you or fighting you. This is like, yeah, very much like it is getting back into the fight. And for you, backpack, you feel like you may have gained an ally. In
Hell
fact,
yeah.
in Giant, in this moment, you can hear this creature say, "You did it. I can breathe again. We must finish this now." And they begin to rise.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
But
Whoa.
that is Buklek, anything
Giant
else?
friend.
No, that's everything I can do.
All right,
in my turn.
Buklek, you free the phoenix.
Oh,
that-
wait, no. I'm gonna go towards... Can you place me next to the grung? I'm
to
gonna
me?
need to touch you on my next turn if you don't hop away from me.
Just not on the skin.
Okay.
It's gonna have to be on the skin.
Enjoy your hallucinogens.
Anything else, Buklek?
Nope.
All right, Buklek. That brings us to the fire giants, to the elementals, and to this phoenix. So as the phoenix rises out, all of these fire elementals just disappear. They seem to be an aspect of that elemental phoenix. You hear briefly cheers, and then as the phoenix takes forms, terrified screams. People watching from the shores now finally deciding, like, oh, maybe this is the time, taking a break and running for the center of town and for the western part of Fareshore. But this huge phoenix opens its wings, and the fire giant is going to take half of its movement to stand up. And it is going to turn to you, Backpack, and it is going to say in Giant, "You are a fine warrior. Let us fight side by side." And they reach out and attempt to grapple this phoenix.
Parasite.
As they put their hands down, though, the phoenix bursts its wings wide and throws the fire giant's wings or hands away. The phoenix, too strong to be contained. The fire giant says, "The Lord of Fire will not be contained so easy. Good, a fair fight." And they swing the sword for their second attack, and they are going to get a 14 and miss. Swinging and missing, this huge phoenix raises its wings back, and for its action,
Oh no! I thought it was. Damn it!
I like this.
Oh,
Damn
no.
it! What a twist in the plot.
All right,
Yeah,
so the fire
right?
giant,
Incredible.
Thought the phoenix was gonna be
Zentria,
happy.
me
with this.
too.
backpack, this orc, and this sorcerer are all going to be making dexterity saving throws, please, as they flap the wings forwards and unleash a torrent, a firestorm in that direction. So Zentria and backpack, dexterity saving throws, please.
17.
17 is
24.
a failure. 24 is a success. And if you use evasion on this, instead of taking half damage, you take 0 damage as a rogue. So you, seeing this storm of fire coming, can choose to use your reaction to just throw yourself flat, dig into the dirt, and take 0 damage. Versus Backpack, who on a failure is taking 53 points of fire damage.
Well, or is she? Because I'm gonna go ahead and activate my absorbing tattoo, fire.
There you go.
And so this is I am using my reaction to gain immunity against this instance of fire damage, and I also regain a number of hit points equal to half the damage I would have taken.
So in this moment, you
dude.
see this firestorm as Zentria throws themselves flat. You throw your arms up, and the tattoo flares to life, and it is like the tattoo grows and seems to swallow the fire. In the same moment as the
fuck?
fire
That was a good
erupts from the
item.
phoenix, it is immediately into this tattoo, and you feel this glowing light radiate out. You feel healed by this attack, and you can see the phoenix furious. It shrieks, and that is fantastic.
How much damage would I have taken?
53 points of fire
Okay,
damage.
so that's 25.
21.
20.
Sorry, no, 26.
Yeah,
26.
26.
That is a good item. I rolled and got
Phenomenal.
I got a very rare item with my roll, so
So that is
Here
the
we are.
phoenix. That is the orc has to make the dexterity save. You see the orc, however, who is manning that, just incinerated as they fall to the ground, just twitching and blackened. You see this tower catches on fire. However, the person up at the top succeeds in dodging and is now working to put that out. But just fire all across the forest here, fire across the sand. That is all of the bad guys. That brings us to Backpack. Backpack stands strong after that attack.
To the giant, she's gonna go, yes, good, a brother in arms. And she's gonna like give him a mighty clap on his calf. And then mechanically, how big is this phoenix?
This phoenix is, I believe
Probably gargantuan.
gargantuan. Let me just check real quick. Just, it is. Sorry, my stat block's taking a second to load. Gargantuan.
Okay. There are some rules in the DMG. They're like optional about climbing on a larger creature. We go with that?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Can I,
How long are you immune to fire?
just
Yeah.
for that one instance? Yeah.
It's a being made of fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's corporeal, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm resistant. I'll be fine. It's what I do. What I'd really like to do,
Yeah, I'm finally seeing where it's all coming together here.
climb up the fire giant's like back, and then jump across to the back of the phoenix.
Nice.
Even better than that, you can see, you say, good to have a brother at arms. They turn to you and they go, brother, and they kneel and they offer a hand up,
Oh, nice.
seeing that you're like wanting to run. So you can run, jump on their hand, and they will throw you
Yes.
up.
I would,
Wow,
I would like
yeah.
that very much.
Make an
please.
athletics check to try to grapple and become the backpack to this phoenix.
Oh, I just rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20. But
Very nice.
Amazing.
Grab onto this, and around this creature's neck, you wrap your hands. Your arms burn, your neck burns, but it burns in a way that almost feels good because you can feel the cheer along. You just body slam this giant. Now everybody on the beach assumes that you are about to suplex a phoenix. And while that may or may not happen to a flying creature, this feels dope as shit.
amazing. So was that whole thing my move action, or was that an action to do the the
It can be.
athletics?
I would say it's your movement. It is then the first of your attack actions to do that grapple.
Sure,
And then
okay.
you have the attack and then the offhand attack.
Okay, so technically I can't grapple it. Technically I'm holding on.
Gotcha.
And I am allowed to do that with one hand, and so so that was move, one attack.
Mm-hmm.
With my second attack, I'm gonna go ahead and just punch him real hard in the back of the neck.
There you go. Do it.
18?
An 18 is a hit.
Nice. All right, 6 bludgeoning damage.
6 points of bludgeoning damage. Does the full amount that you'd
bludgeoning
expect.
damage.
So everybody cheers. You can hear one of the orcs go, "Hey, he's about to suplex the bird!" And then you just go, and just kind of pop it in the side of the head. Does almost nothing. There is audible disappointment from one tower, but other than that, people cheering.
Actually, I'm sorry. Can I have activated my Eldritch Maul as a bonus action before
Absolutely,
I did that?
yes.
Okay, so I did that, and then that just means I get an extra 1d6 of force
There
damage.
you go.
5 more damage.
Hey, it's a significantly more impactful blow at that point.
Chomp.
So that is your turn, Backpack.
That is my turn.
Backpack to the Phoenix. That brings us to Powderpog.
Oh, right. Oh, and then she's like, now you see why they call me Backpack.
Yeah.
Cutting back to like Calorjet with like Shoshe still sitting in the throne room.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, I really don't understand. But yeah. Powderpog.
Does this muscle have like a PA system?
It does not.
Okay.
Damn.
I want to shout out to like everyone like that the Phoenix drove the giant mad, but to release the giant's on our side now. Redirect your attacks to the Phoenix.
Make a persuasion check at advantage. Absolutely. A very good idea.
Ooh, all right. I think I know how to be persuasive because I used to be an artisan. Yes. Dirty 20.
So before you make that announcement, you draw yourself up to your full height, almost 3'5", and you get big. Suddenly you see your grunt companion, their throat with this big hole, and then using the echo chamber of your own body, you just shout this out, bellowing it out almost in a belch across the beach, and it is heard. It is heard, and in some places smelt from the people who are here. And you see people nodding, turning. Your message is received.
Nice. This thing here, no
Yes.
one is now like using it.
Correct. It is glowing. It is ready to fire, but it is not. Nobody's there to fire it.
Can I fire it from like this here, or does it need to be fired?
Yeah,
from,
as long
like,
as
here?
you were able to touch it, you can fire it.
Okay. Was the announcement my action?
Announcement, persuasion check, action. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will just move 25 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll just get there next turn
There you
to
go.
use it.
You start running across the sand.
And for bonus action, I will direct Papa Pog to just go bah and shoot a force ballista at the bird.
Yeah.
28 to
That
hit.
is a hit.
Nice.
All right. That'll be 10 force damage.
10 points of force damage is the full amount, and Backpack, as that hits, you feel the Phoenix tremble and shudder. There is rage, but for just a moment, you feel it sink. This creature is badly hurt already. It will not take a lot to finish its cycle. That is your turn, Powderpog. That brings us to the rest of the beach. All of these people kind of unwheel these ballista, training them off the giant and now fixing them on the rock. On the end of the next turn, they will all be able to fire. These are trees of frost-enchanted arrows that will be able to fire. They're just a single turn off. Nobody fires at the fire giant. Nobody does anything to inhibit them in any way. You've successfully gotten them onto your side and prevented your allies from fighting each other, which was my secret card in the back pocket.
Nice.
That brings
Strategist
us to the
over
top of the round
here.
into
My
Zentria. Zentria, this fire
Backpack
giant
is
turns
very
and starts to fight with this phoenix. You can see Backpack riding the phoenix up and into the air. What are you doing?
Could I use the Shape of Water cantrip to get to the level of the Phoenix and then use the fancy footwork to have a melee attack that the creature cannot have opportunity attacks against me?
So I would say for flavor, sure, just because you can already move there without taking an opportunity attack. So you can kind of move over to the beach and then triggering the shape of water, you can use the water to kind of carry you behind the phoenix to make an attack.
Not the shape of water.
Make an attack roll. You use the shape of water, finding this handsome fish man behind the
What should I add?
This is your rapier.
Actually, are you using the rapier or the shard?
Oh yeah, whichever. The shard probably. So it's the same modifier as the rapier.
So what should
Should be 5.
So 7 plus 5. Yeah.
Did you say that she was behind the rock?
7.
Yes, and so
Will she have
actually,
advantage
and
from
you can
flanking?
roll that d20 twice because you are flanking with the fire giant who is now an ally. And
So
back.
roll twice
Oh,
and take
word.
the higher roll.
Oh, do I add them together? Or?
No.
No, you pick the
so
higher
it's
one.
14 total.
14.
Oh, well, can I do this, though? There was like,
Yeah. You add like 15, I think, or something like that. Whatever you would normally add for your rapier.
I think it was like,
No, it's only plus
Probably
7.
not
Plus 7,
15.
plus 7. Sorry.
That is
I'm
pretty
thinking.
good at level 7,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
So that's a total of a 21, which is a hit. So go ahead and roll damage, which is 1d6 plus your sneak attack, which is total of I believe 5d6.
So that's 1. And now roll all 4 of these and then add.
was that 2, and then 8, and then 15, and then 16, and then 20.
20.
20 plus 4.
With 24 points of cold damage, it is twice as effective as you would imagine. And with 46 points total damage, this creature, as you stab into it and there is a burst of cold, you see the feathers become almost just regular feathers for a moment. You see the creature falter. There is a single shriek. And for you, Backpack, you can feel it flicker and begin to fail. This creature is almost dead. It is just a single hit away. But that is your turn, Zentria. That brings us to Buklek.
Buklek smirks. Decides to do something dumb instead of win.
Wait, what?
Hell yeah.
that she's about to get real fucked up on grung juice.
I changed my mind.
Oh, okay.
What she does is she starts waving her little umbrella in a circle in the air and then opens it. But as she's waving her circle in the air, a 30 by 30 cloud starts forming above the phoenix as she casts Create Water. And 10 gallons of water just start to rain down on the phoenix.
That's good.
That is
Phenomenal.
very good.
You
I don't know if it's gonna do damage.
splash the phoenix with water. It hits, and there is a of steam that rises up for you, Backpack. Your fur instantly becomes curly and frizzy as it just completely goes up around you. You feel your nostrils open up, your sinuses release. It feels great. It doesn't deal any damage to the phoenix.
Okay.
It does create kind of an area that is harder to see, so you're concealed now. The phoenix also partially concealed, but so large that it doesn't affect it. You can all still hit this creature. If anything, it might be a little harder for it to see.
Okay. That's my action. Bonus action, reaches over, touches the grung.
I walked away. Do you want to walk towards me?
Oh shit, I thought you were still next to me.
No, I walked towards this.
Oh, yeah, whatever. She's
Okay.
like, we're almost about to win. Here's 5 points of healing.
Okay.
Lay on hands.
So you lay on hands, 5 points of healing. You're a purple grung, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you have the stats?
I'm just pulling it up right now. Make a Constitution saving throw, Buklek.
Okay. Not my highest stat by any means. Natural 3 for it. Natural 5.
Buklek, as you lay on hands this grung, you gently lay your hands on the purple skin. Suddenly, you feel the desire, nay, the compulsion, to submerge yourself in mud. You look down and you can see this wet sand, and you can't help it. You drop to the ground and you just start digging. Like a little kid at the beach, you just start going to town.
Buklek.
You are going to get there, and at the end of your turn, you can repeat that save. You are technically poisoned, and until
I have
you end the
resistance against poison.
until you end the
condition.
poison condition, you desperately need to soak in water.
This happened to Cara once
Yes, it
in the
did.
Friday game,
definitely-
and she kept failing the save for like 4
Oh my
turns in
God.
a row. She was so
So,
upset.
that is your turn, Buklek. You fail your own saving throw. That brings us to the fire giant. That brings us to this phoenix. So this fire giant, sensing like that the end is near, they're going to attempt to grapple the phoenix to hold it for you. It's going to be a competing athletics check. Finally, they are able to pin the phoenix's wings. They now hold this and will give advantage to the next attack against this phoenix.
Nice.
The phoenix will get an attack at actually 2 attacks at disadvantage as it is grappled. Back. It is going to try to shake you off. The first attempt
I'll try to shake me off too.
is going to be, as it thrashes with the backs of its talons, that is going to be a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
With that 26, the talons rake across you, and they deal a total of 26 points of piercing damage. Can you make a dexterity saving throw? And you can make it an advantage.
That's so nice. Whoopah. 15.
With a 15, you are flung off this creature as they attempt to strike you. They just throw you free. You are thrown free of this creature. However, you are not landing prone. You land on your feet within 10 feet of this, anywhere around it.
Behind it.
The second attack, now freed from your grasp, it will make against the giant, also a disadvantage as it is grappled by them. And it is unable to break free. So it throws you off back, but the fire giant in giant says, "Worry not, brother, I have them still." And they hold it still. Back. As you land in the sand, it is your turn. What do you want to do?
Go up and punch it in the butt.
There you go. Attack roll.
The cloaca.
Yeah. All right, and this is gonna be a 2-weapon fighting situation. So, first one is a 27.
That is a hit.
So that's gonna be 8. Oh no, sorry. 9 points of bludgeoning.
9 points of bludgeoning as you strike into this creature. Backpack. Tell us how it happened.
Hey, backpack! I just uppercut its butt. And
What a way to die.
yeah, in my headcanon, the force is so powerful that it causes him to flip over.
Phenomenal. You hit them with so much force, Backpack. Seeing this creature shout at you, "Brother, I have them," you shout this uppercut and you hit them right in the cloaca. Right beneath where the fan of flaming tail feathers can almost light the beach on fire, and you strike it and you hit it true, and you can feel with that strike the fire harden into rock as this creature crumbles into sand. And that sand crumbles into ash, and you can hear all up and down the beach this cheer.
Yay!
Okay. As the people cheer all up and down this beach and the phoenix kind of crumbles down, for you, Backpack, the fire giant goes down to one knee, and they offer you a hand, just saying, "Brother, you fought well." And you can hear and kind of almost feel the rejoicing happening here off in the town of Fareshore. People like beginning to rush away. People are like piling on carts now, are beginning to like unpack everything. Oh man, they really should have just made a choice and stuck with it.
They should have believed in us.
Should have believed in us.
And in this moment too, as the wind blows through this beach and you have all sort of saved the day here in Farshore, you note that as the sand and the ash mix, little bits of fire kind of spark off the beach. And though you do not see a phoenix, well, everybody make a perception check.
Nope.
14. Was that it? Did I get it?
10.
8
Okay.
and then 16 would be
Oh, you get it.
Perception. Nope.
As you are on this beach and you see the sand and the ash combine, little sparks and little motes of fire flick up as the sun sets off in the distance and it kind of blazes off the water. It is a beautiful moment that feels like the sand and the water and the sky all sparkle as one. But for you, Zentria, amongst the sand and the ash, there is one thing that is not like the rest. A single red feather that gleams with elemental fire. And if you wish, you can grab the feather of the phoenix and perhaps have some ability drawn from this artifact in the future.
Heck yeah.
You pluck this
Okay,
from
that
the
means
beach.
your character
And
better
not
come back again.
A single other person notes that you take this. You add this artifact to your inventory, and as the crowd celebrates you, this is where we end for the evening, as you have saved Fareshore from the Fire Giant, you have saved the Fire Giant from the Phoenix, and you have saved the Phoenix from itself. As successful as you could potentially be in this scenario. Considering that you failed 3 out of 5 checks in the middle, very impressive.
Yeah, it was a little bit
Do I have a
rough.
job now at the Artificer?
So yeah, you certainly can go back and start working over at Clorjet if you wish. Thank you for joining us for this one shot. You can't even see me because I froze. So I'm just waving to you. Thank you. Oh, it's been so great having you all here. We'll see you next week. It's wild out there. But whatever you do, stay safe. We'll see you later. Goodbye.